Okay.
This is Dr. Cavill's Inside the HBCU Sports Lab, officially here, partnering with the MEAC as part of the 2024 MEAC Football Media Day at the Hilton downtown Norfolk, Maine. We also have the live ESPN Plus show that follows us approximately about 11:30, so stick with us. That will be the 2024 MEAC Countdown to Kickoff football show as we get going. I have none other than the legend himself, Mr. Lynn Thompson. How you doing this morning?
Well, I'm good, man. I got some sleep.
I call you the legend. You know you're a legend.
That means you're old, Doc. Come on, man. You know, I'm feeling young. And last night, what time did we go to bed, man?
It was late.
Yeah, you left me about 11 something.
Yeah.
And we put in another hour's worth of work.
Right. I made sure they get my good side.
And we put another hour's worth of work in. But we are here this morning, and you can feel the energy building up in this room. The student athletes and the coaches are coming in here right now. This signals the beginning of fall camp and football season 2024. Can you believe it's here, man?
It's ready. It is live and shaking. Yeah, I can officially see when you get this kind of momentum with the media here. They were last night setting up, and they're ready to go. You have the football players here, those two individuals with the head coaches. You have the banner, the uniforms, and the helmet. Yeah, I feel it.
And I wish that the audience could see what is dead center, where the focus is on
That's
the
what
MEAC
they
trophy.
want.
That's right. And
MEAC
I'm sure we're
trophy.
going to get a shot for them later on, but these coaches are walking around here, man. I'm wondering what they're going to wear to church Sunday, because they got on their Sunday best.
They cleaned out the closet.
They sure did, man, you know.
I'm so happy to partner with you. You know, Dr. Kenyatta Cavill, as you know, the Inside the HBCU Sports Lab, been doing it for a while, part of the Black College Sports Network, BCSN. And so we'll do some simulcasts as we kick off. We kind of start things off officially with the MEAC, and then we'll slide over into a simulcast just to give the focus of where it should be, which is on the MEAC.
Yeah, but you know, your footprint and through your platforms, I mean, you reach so many people, and the MEAC does the same thing. But it's just a natural progression to create partnerships. To build teams and the opportunity to have you here front and center in the midst of all of this great action is nothing but a bonus. It's nothing but a tremendous advantage for our institutions and our student athletes. And I just think that the audience and the people around America who follow HBCU football will be thrilled to meet these student athletes, to hear from the coaches, and to feel the synergy that's filling this room right now.
Exactly, and I certainly echo all that. With that being said, let's kind of get a rundown what people that are tuning in to watch the show, what they expect throughout the day.
Here's what you can expect today. Right now, this room is set up on the perimeter of the room. All of the institutions are here. The media is in this room. We've got close to 45 to 50 media outlets that are here. Going to be doing their interviews, one-on-one interviews. We're going to be doing individual, collective interviews with the student athletes. And as that goes on, they're going to be stopping by here to talk to us. You'll get a chance to really ask some very pertinent questions. I know in our production meetings we talked about that, and it gives you a chance to dive in to really get to meet these student athletes. And I know in the meetings you talked about from an academic perspective, as a professor, you wanted to really, I guess, get a look into the psyche of these student athletes. What makes them tick? After that happens, Doc, then we'll segue into later on. We'll segue into the 2024 MEAC Countdown to Kickoff football show, which will be hosted by Jay Walker and Tiffany Green. But this gives us an opportunity, and you'll be a part of this as well, to cross-promote the MEAC's weekly Countdown to Kickoff show hosted by Jasmine McCoy and Mitchell Brown. And that also airs every Saturday at 11:30 a.m. on ESPN Plus. And that gives you an inside look each week at MEAC football.
You know, that's my little secret sauce. When people come around and say, how you know so much about the MEAC? Well, I watch that show before the game every Saturday. Then it takes me a deeper dive. Then we have the media show with the coaches on Monday to get you going. But that is a secret. So I hope people that have not already, and those that have, continue to share it with other folks in terms of the Saturday kickoff. and how much it really gets you inside and ready for the games. I do that, and then I get into my Carlos Brown show. By the end of that, I'm ready for any HBCU ins and outs, any backstory people ask for as I'm doing my tailgate or traveling to prepare for a game. I have everything in my pocket.
You know, I've been working with that show since its inception at the MEAC Digital Network, and we've done live cut-ins. We've hosted remote broadcasts from campuses. So many different things that we've done with that show, and it continues to evolve.
Okay.
And the show, we found the demographics of our audience are younger college students, you know, and campus-based organizations who are following that. And so a lot of the content that now we are delivering will be skewed toward that audience, but also the alums. Folks like you and I, who really follow it and want to know historically what these programs have done and are continuing to do. There'll be a ton of content for them as well.
Yeah, no doubt. Let me get into some of this football media day attendees. We have Coach Lee Hall, Delaware State. He's brought with him students, Charles Brown Jr. and Jordan Hall. We got a little surprise if you think about it, the last name there. We'll get into that.
Yeah.
We also have Dawson Odom, Hakeem Wright, Devin Allen. And then we have, that's of Norfolk State, the mighty Spartans. Behold the green and gold, as they like to say around them part. You got Larry Scott, Darius Fox, and Kenneth Gallup Jr. of Howard Bison. They're back in the mix. They want to defend their championship. We'll see what that looks like. It's been a while since we had a repeat.
Yeah, you're right. And Kenny Gallup Jr. just was named an FCS football defensive player, All-American. This kid can play.
He can play.
Yeah.
He can play. Trey Oliver, the year before, won the championship and went down there and got it done in the championship. In the Celebration Bowl, getting it done. He's brought Jaquin Davis and Jaden Taylor. He has a new quarterback coming in the fold, Walker. He played a little bit last year, so it'll be interesting to see what that looks like. With that being said, we have Damon Wilson, Daheed Smith, and Elijah Williams are here.
Yeah, and you know, people are really excited about what's going on at Morgan State. You can see the rise over the last couple of years, and folks are really excited and anxious to see what the Bears are going to do this year.
No doubt about it. And then we have Chennis Berry, the new kid on the block, is such a thing around these parts. Nick Tace and Aaron Smith. This is the question I wanted to ask you. You've had experience with a lot of these coaches during the meeting day. People don't necessarily understand when you put these events on, a lot of times, whether it's at this or various times, when the coaches have to come together and discuss the framework of how the commissioner, Sonny Steele, wants to lead the conference, and she's very good in terms of making sure they have their input on what direction they'd like to see. Tell us a couple of stories about some of these coaches that some of our listeners may not realize, because they tend to see them, obviously, as they shake hands and push the alumni and get the support there, but really is when they see them on them sidelines when they get excited.
They see them animated. They see them frustrated. They see the field general. They see them in the midst of battle. That's not who they really are. Sometimes that's a persona. In reality, these coaches have been called to the ministry of coaching, Doc. You know, where they're passionate about leading young people. We used to say they're leading young men, but our programs now are full of young men and women, because many of the support roles, the vital roles, are done by young women who understand football.
Right.
A la the now emphasis on 7-on-7 flag football around the world.
They just had the flag championship.
We're going to talk a little bit about that too. That's
kicked
right.
that off. That was really a nice touch.
Oh man,
I'm not sure people understood.
We're going to talk about that a little bit too later on in the show. But you're right, and so when you put these coaches together, you get a chance to understand who they are, what makes them tick, and how driven they are about not only winning, but about transforming the lives of the young people in their program. That's why so much energy, so many resources are invested in them and their programs.
That's absolutely correct. You talk about Delaware State's Hornets. We told you about Lee Hall. He went 1-10 last year, 1-5 last year in the conference race. but this is second year,
Yeah.
fourth overall. Career is 13 and 22, 10 and 11 overall in the MEAC. He was the 2014 MEAC Coach of the Year, 2014 MEAC champion at Morgan State. So he's back in the business.
Hey,
Give you some highlights of his non-conference schedule. He's at Hawaii. They get to take a trip to Hawaii.
Hawaii, yeah.
At Sacred Heart versus Wagner, Richmond, at Campbell versus St. Francis, and at Robert Morris. A really nice balance of playing up, a nice trip, some regional rivalries, and a couple of games at home.
Well, the key to building programmatic success is working with the director of athletics or the administrator in charge of scheduling and building a schedule that is success oriented. You know, a lot of times.
Look at Trey Oliver. He looks fired up. He's clean.
Yeah, he's clean. He's clean. A lot of
Did
times.
You go to your barber?
No, he didn't go to my barber. I need to go to his.
I'm sorry.
But that's all right. But a lot of times, the success is built over a period of time.
Yes.
It is not done accidentally, you know, because strategic scheduling is the key. And you know, some folks say, well, let's just go make the money. But you might make money, but at what cost?
I like that.
And driving the program into a hole while you might come out in the black, but the morale, the physical health of your program is all in the red. And so, and what you remember now in the fall of a football season, particularly on college campuses around the world, around America, Canada as well, the morale of an institution is driven by the success and the energy generated by a football team.
Very true. Let's move on to our second coach here I have listed, Howard Bison, 6-6 last season overall, 4-1 in the conference race. Larry Scott is in his fifth year, 6th overall. Howard record 14-22, 9-8 in terms of the conference. He was the 2022-2023 MEAC champs. 22 he was co-champs in 2023 as well. He got the bid and went to the Celebration Bowl. In terms of the non-conference schedule, highlighted by they kick things off August 31st at Rutgers. They have versus Mercyhurst, versus Morehouse in the New York City Classic. You have versus Hampton as well. That rivalry will be interesting always in terms of what takes place there. At Princeton, Ivy League school. They put that on the schedule the last couple of years, which is fascinating. Versus Sacred Heart. And then a homecoming game that seems to have everybody abuzz in the HBCU community, Tennessee State for homecoming. So fascinating schedule in terms of what's going on there. Let's see what your thoughts in terms of the Howard Bison.
Howard Bison, the Bison program, Larry Scott is building a great program. I mean, all you got to do is look over the last 3 or 4 years. You can see, since he's been there, you can see a rise. You can see a rise in terms of enthusiasm, but you can see the recruiting increasing, but the success. No one can question the success. 3 or 4 plays away from winning the Black College National Championship last year. People don't realize they had FAMU beat
on the
late in the fourth quarter.
Yep.
Right, and so they returned the core of their program, but more importantly, the brain trust of that staff it remains intact. And Coach has done a masterful job. And the leadership team around him in the athletic administration, Kerry Davis and his team, they understand how important it is to build a winning program at such a great institution. That combination of a great athletics program at a great academic institution, is unbeatable. Jay Walker was known for always saying when they were losing, well, we're not an athletic institution, we're just academics. But now his tone has begun to change.
He sure has in terms of mixing up. He's pretty excited about Howard, and not only is they academic now, he talks about the athletic side.
That's right. You know, I just got a message from the staff. As this thing is beginning to kick off now, the first team that will be visited by today will be the North Carolina Central Eagles. Number one, they're going to be number one on our list today. Trey Oliver and his team, they're going to come and pay a visit to us. And I'll tell you what, such an exciting program. Coach Oliver has built, and when you look in terms of the standard over the last, 4 years in the MEAC, Trey Oliver has been 1 and 2 in the pole position, on the inside or the outside. If this was NASCAR, inside or the outside of the pole, the North Carolina Central, that's right.
Absolutely, he's rebuilt that program. Before I talk about Trey Oliver in North Carolina Central, wanted to give one update on Kerry Davis.
Okay.
You would really relate to this. Unfortunately, I didn't start the program until you just decided to hang it up, if you would, in terms of Director of Athletics, VP of Athletics, as they have in some places. You know, I've ranked the top 6 athletic directors at the Division I level in HBCU athletic programs. This year, in terms of my top 6, the number 1 ranked director of athletics was none other than Howard University's Kerry Davis.
Wow.
To your point, a lot of the framework of how I break it down does with, how did you do in your major sports? Football, basketball. High up there, obviously, we talked about the Celebration Bowl. Basketball, they're right there in the mix, both men's and women's, so they get major points for that.
Yeah.
Then you get points from all sports trophy. How well is your overall program doing? Your APR, what are you metrics and locked in terms of APR? What are you doing fundraising? How are you doing with new facility plans, if not already have some being built? Updated the locker rooms at Howard University, has done an amazing job in terms of philanthropy, in terms of bringing in the money and resources. That deal he got with Jordan,
no question
second
about
to
that.
none in terms of what he was able to do.
And he and Steph
all
Curry.
those points added up, and he far exceeded. And not only was he number 1, he was leading significantly in terms of the point differential over the other 5 ADs, VPs that were getting it done.
Well, it's all about comprehensive success, and all of those. You just hit many of the touch points that fall into that category, Doc. Kerry Davis came from ESPN. He was a lawyer that handled HBO. He handled HBO boxing, and so he brought a different mindset to Howard University. An Ivy League basketball player, and that's what he was. He was a basketball player from the Ivy, and he came in with a different approach to things, and he's built. And I've watched him build these things. And Kerry and I have known each other since he came to Howard, and we've spent a lot of time together. And he's built a great program, and he was recognized, as an Under Armour National AD of the Year this past year, and I think it was a very justifiable selection by NACTA to name as one of those, because they recognize exactly what you just identified.
Thank you. Great point. On to North Carolina Central Eagles, 9-3 last year. Had got up as high as in the top 10 rankings in the FCS rankings before the end of the season. That tough loss to Howard. He was on his way to look like we had a top 10 FCS matchup between 1 and 2 in HBCU polls. They had won the Celebration Bowl against Jackson State of the SWAC 2 years ago. He was 9-3, as I said, 4-1 in last year. Trey Oliver, 6 over year coaching the program, North Carolina Central career, 29-18. That's 15-8 in the conference, as you talked about. HBCU national champs in 2022, 2023 MEAC champs. He was the 2022 MEAC Coach of the Year. Check out the conference schedule. This should be fun. Man, versus Alabama State. They will be road warriors.
That's down Alabama in the State, Orange Blossom Classic, right?
Orange Blossom Classic in Florida, your part of the world. He has Elon on the schedule. He's at North Carolina of the week of September 14th, and then the 21st. They have North Carolina A&T. October 5th, they're at Campbell. And then October 12th, they have Virginia University Lynchburg. And you mentioned the fact that they'll be in the 40th annual Circle City Classic.
That's right.
Against Norfolk State. So it's a MEAC game that is moved to a Classic in Indianapolis. That also must be talked about in terms of the schedule, even though it's a conference game.
Raynoid Dito, the deputy commissioner of the MEAC, and I were in Indianapolis a few weeks ago, and they are so excited about having the MEAC with a footprint in the Midwest. And as you know, the Circle City Classic has for decades been a major classic in the HBCU spectrum. During my tenure at Bethune-Cookman, we had the opportunity to play in that classic 4 times. And every time we had that opportunity, we took advantage of it. And I think Trey Oliver and Melody Webb and Skip Perkins, they saw the value in that. And the folks in the Midwest are promoting it like crazy. To have those 2 institutions there. As a matter of fact, last year, North Carolina Central took on Mississippi Valley and beat them in Indianapolis, and now they're redoing it again. But this is great for the footprint of the MEAC to be expanded to the Midwest. And folks don't realize that the Midwest, that there is a thirst for anything HBCU in the Midwest, because a lot of our graduates have migrated to Detroit, to Cincinnati, Cleveland, and of course Chicago and St. Louis. And when you talk about Division I athletics in the Midwest, you got to really rely on schools from the MEAC and the SWAC to really support that need to thrive on those institutions and that type of sport.
Some of the MEAC leadership here getting it done as they continue to make sure things go smoothly around here, boy. You talking about a busy body, giving us some information in terms of what things going as we prepare for our coaches coming along. That's the halfway point in terms of our coaches of the MEAC for football. This is the 2024 MEAC Football Media Day at the Hilton downtown Norfolk The Main. And the live ESPN Plus show as we are counting down.
Yes, sir.
To the 2024 MEAC Countdown Kickoff Football Show on ESPN Plus.
And Coach, I'll tell you this, Doc. You know what we got to do?
Yes.
We got to pay some bills, man. Coca-Cola and so many of our corporate partners are there. So we're going to tell you guys, let me tell you this. Experience joy on repeat with Coca-Cola's new bottles made of 100% recycled materials, and discover how they're one step closer to creating a world without waste. Coca-Cola, a proud partner of the Mid-Eastern Athletic Conference. You're going to hear a lot more about them and their relationship with the MEAC because Coca-Cola has invested in our programs for generations, and we're so proud to have them. Doc, so you're going to hear a lot about them. So y'all folks, get ready to keep hearing about this because they're on board with many of the things that we're doing.
Man, the men of the hour. Look who we have coming.
Let me get up and
now.
make arrangements for these guys to come.
Yes, please do, and I'll get them ready as we have North Carolina Central, the Eagles, preparing to come up.
And I'm going to let you handle this, and I'm going to set the other stuff up, okay, Doc?
Certainly, no problem. We have Coach Trey Oliver as they're getting prepared to sit down, having a great interview here as we have Jaquan Davis and Jaden Taylor coming on board to give us that. When you talk about Jaquan, in terms of what he was able to get done last year, none other than wide receiver, 195 pounds, listed at 6'4", junior from Durham, North Carolina, Charles Eaton Jordan High School, in terms of what he is doing out there on the mark. You also have coming up, as we talked about, Jaden Taylor coming up here, defensive lineman, 6'1", 275 pounds from Durham, North Carolina, redshirt junior out of Northern Durham High School, transfer out of Mercer University. How's it going, Coach? Please welcome to the show here, 2024 MEAC Football Media Day. Hilton, downtown Norfolk The Main. We brought you back. It's time.
It's good to be back. I know when I see you, it's close. It's right around the corner.
Man, I'm so excited for this time. I always get excited about the Eagles, man. You have built something special over there in the nest, as they like to say in that part of the world. Talk a little bit about what are your expectations coming into this football season?
To improve from last year, and that's our goal every year, is to be better next year than we were last year. So I think, talent-wise, I think that we're going to be a little bit older this year. We had a lot of young guys that played last year, got a lot of reps. But we play this game to win championships, and that's what it's
Yes,
all
sir.
about. So,
Yes, you do.
you know, we're gonna fight like heck to try to get our name back on that trophy this year.
Yeah, we missed that just a little bit on the hair there, and you were trending and making things happen. Before I go to these young men and get their story, I'm a little remiss. Usually I get to see you the day before, so I know you must have been carving up some plays, looking prepared. I didn't get any inside secrets, and I can kind of do those things, but I know there was a reason behind it.
Yeah, unfortunately, we had a young man that was in a car accident. One of my players.
Prayers.
So, if y'all would keep our school in your prayers, but
Most
you know,
certainly.
trying to deal with him and his family. So
Okay.
So yeah, I'm sorry I missed y'all last night and didn't hang out with y'all that much, but you know, I'm gonna make the most of it for the next about 3-4 hours. All right.
All right, there you go. Good deal. Let's get to the real deal and why we're here. Let's start with you, Jaden Taylor, defensive lineman. They have you listed as 6'1". You seem a little bigger than that. 275, boy. You look like you ready to go. Talk to us about your excitement for this season.
I'm really just ready to showcase the talent with my team for real. So we're going to go out there and enjoy everything. You know what I'm saying? We all like a big family, so you get to play with your family all the time. It's always a fun thing to do. And we've been working real hard this summer just to try to make sure that we're ready for the season, make sure everybody in shape, make sure they got all their gear ready to go, all their armor to go in the war. So just ready to do that with my guys, man.
Talking about ready to go in the battle. Talk about some of those guys over there on this side of the ball that you excited to line up. I know you can't give them all, but give a couple of key folks that you like. All right, we're going to be ready.
My guys I notice always with me. I got all of them always ready to go. I got Cole Jones. We got Quantez Mansfield inside. Juju Williams outside. We got safeties, Malcolm Reed. We got a lot of guys on the defense side of the ball that's ready to go. It's fired up.
Good stuff, good stuff. When we talk about what you all want to do on the defensive side of the ball during the football season, and I know Coach tells you to take it one game at a time, so you're probably focused on that first matchup. But what does that look to you in terms of preparing for game day during the week leading up to usually Saturdays, but potentially Thursdays as well?
Our main goal really is always to stop the run, so day in and day out, we're going to make sure that's our main focus, make sure we prepare like champions day in and day out, just to make sure our swords are ready, sharp and ready to go to war.
Jaquan Davis, you seem really focused.
Yes, sir.
Is that just
That's just
your
always how I
natural
am.
being that
Yes, sir.
do you lead like that from that perspective? You kind of just follow me. We're gonna do what's necessary, or you're a verbal lead?
Really just whatever I feel like the team needs at the time.
Okay.
If I feel like we need to talk or I feel like I need to show it. But the main thing for me is just always showing it, being that leader that they know is going to be able to bring the same thing to the table every day.
Talk to me a little bit about the energy of playing those home games. What gets you so fired up when you get prepared, coming out and you hear the world, that crowd? Why is it a special place?
Well, the Eagle Nation is just like it's the best in HBCU football. I feel like you go out there and you see all your family and friends, and then being from Durham, it brings even more of that excitement just because I know like the whole city is behind us. So it's amazing.
Okay. Tell me a couple about some people on that side of the ball that you think we should be focused on, maybe that hasn't quite got the buzz yet, and why you say that.
Well, Walker Harris, quarterback, he really hasn't got that much playing time, but I seen him put the work in every single day. I seen him study, break down film, and I know he's going to have a successful season. Quentin McCall, Andrew Smith, and then we have a couple of younger slot receivers too that's going to really make some noise this year.
Back to you, Coach. You know, you talked about the little bit of buzz about the season. Last year's last year, but I'd be remiss if we didn't go and talk about that. That team would seem really ready to take that next step and repeat. Why is it such a challenge to repeat in this conference?
You know, it's really good coaching. It's good teams in this conference. And, you know, you've got to come ready to play week in and week out, and you can't slip up. And I think, you know, during the season with the press, I think we started off 6-1. And I told the press I'd much rather be 1-6 and make a run and win the rest of them and win the championship. You know, but, you know, we dropped one game and you're out of the championship hunt. But we made it to the playoffs. So we had postseason play, so we can't hang our hat. I know my guys were disappointed. I was disappointed for not going to the Celebration Bowl. You know, that's what we wanted. But, you know, we can't hang our heads. And for the season, we had a top 20 team. that made it to the playoffs.
Great point when you talk about that. Let's get in a little bit of your scheduling philosophy. How much are your handprints on the schedule? Obviously, you open things up in the Orange Blossom Classic in Florida against Alabama State. It's a MEAC SWAC type matchup when you talk about it. But you also have the 40th Circle City Classic where you play a conference game in terms of Norfolk State. You play up against North Carolina. That's in the state in terms of those matchups. And then you have a couple of home games against Campbell. So you have a very fluid schedule. I really like that. And you've done this over the last couple of years. Talk to us a little bit about, one, how much hands-on you have for your schedule and why that's important to do it like that.
Definitely. When I took over the program in 2019, that's what I told the AD I wanted to do. So I handle all the scheduling. So, I want to play a strong out-of-conference schedule. I don't want to play all these Division II teams and these lower-level FCS teams because people don't respect you and you won't be ranked.
Okay.
So we're always going to play a tough FBS opponent like UCLA last year and the University of North Carolina this year, and then mix it in with a couple of PWIs like the Elons and the Campbells. So I'm really excited about that, and a lot of HBCUs haven't had much success against PWIs, but we've had an opportunity to beat Campbell and Elon and a top 10 New Hampshire at their place in 22.
Right.
So we're excited about that. And then you look at our playing the SWAC schools. I want to play the SWAC schools as much as possible because it's a good little rivalry between the two conferences. But I don't know if I would have scheduled Alabama State knowing they find out they ranked #1 to open this thing up. So we're going to have our hands full early, and then, going back and playing Norfolk State and Circle City. But if you got #1 in the MEAC and #1 in the SWAC open the season up, man, I don't think it gets much better than that.
No, it doesn't get much better than that for an HBCU fan. I see how the players looking. They ready. They said they want that.
Yeah, they want
Let's get out. They want those kind of opportunities. That's why you go to North Carolina Central Eagles, because you're going to play a very aggressive schedule across the board. So I know you're excited. Kind of final question as we round it up. Same thing to you in terms of the football schedule. What gets you excited when you see games on the schedule like that? First, you, Japon.
I feel like the main thing for us, when Coach first came to me and was recruiting me, he told us like we're gonna be playing in big games. We're gonna push the brand. We're gonna always be in those games to where we can showcase our talent. And so that's the main thing, that we get to go against these teams and show that we really match up against them and we can play against them and really compete and dominate.
I like it. Your thoughts?
Like Joaquin said as well, being on these big games, playing on TV a lot, it's always a good way to showcase our talent week in and week out. So that's really the main thing, just showcasing the talent for me and the team as well.
You heard it from Jaquan Davis and Jaden Taylor. Just their thoughts on this season. You can see they're focused and ready. I keep trying to break them down, make them smile a little bit, but it's just not in their blood. It's that time of the year. Bring the ring out here one more time, Coach. That looks nice.
That's national. That's national.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, this is what I wanted to make sure. Bring it back up.
Yeah, okay. That's it right there.
That's real thing.
Right.
I just want.
I ain't gonna do them like that, though. JT, I'm not gonna do them like that. See, some people, hey, look.
Can I just shake your
You
hand?
can shake my hand, man. We just, of course, call it 3-piece. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Ain't Bo James.
No, that's real.
Yeah.
That's real.
Yeah.
That's good.
National.
National champion head coach here, Trey Oliver, getting ready for this season and letting everybody know it's serious about the North Carolina Central Eagles. For all those fans out there in general, get ready for the season because they're going to be ready. With that, I just want to say thanks for coming up and giving us a little bit of your time and talk to us. I know you got to get around to everybody.
Thank you for having me, man. You do an outstanding job pushing both all the HBCU, SWAC, MEAC, and everything. I appreciate what you do. You do a professional job at it, man. Keep up the good work.
It means a lot, Coach. Thank you so much. As we get back to it, as we said, this is the 2024 MEAC Football Media Day, Hilton, downtown Norfolk, The Main, live, ESPN Plus, getting ready for Countdown, 2024 MEAC Countdown to Kickoff Football Show on ESPN as they get ready to bring it to you live and heavy. As we continue to move forward, as I said, I'll break down again the non-conference schedule for North Carolina Central here with Trey Oliver. Non-conference schedule. Start off as we talked a little bit about Alabama State in the Orange Blossom Classic. You have Elon. They're at North Carolina. That is September the 14th and September 21st. Big game against North Carolina A&T. They've given them fits over the last couple of years. October 5th at Campbell, and then October 12th, Virginia Union Lynchburg. In terms of that, I believe that may be homecoming. Is that a homecoming game, or when is homecoming for?
Well, we got Coach Wilson and the dangerous Morgan team for homecoming.
Ooh,
yes,
boy, I tell you,
we're gonna work that out. That's gonna be a good one right there.
Yeah, I'll be watching. I know I kind of even looked at the schedule in terms of when I could find a way to fly down there and see if I can scoot over and see a couple of those games like that. And I think that might be the one to do.
Please come check us out, man. We'd love to have you in the nest.
Oh, yeah, I want to be there. That'll do it as we get prepared, move forward. Let me go back and give a PA announcement in terms of MEAC Digital, HBCU Sports Lab. That is Coca-Cola. Experience joy and repeat Coca-Cola's new bottles made of 100% recycled material and discover how they're one step closer to creating a world without waste. Coca-Cola, a proud partner of the MEAC Eastern Athletic Conference. As we are getting live, I'll allow the coaches to get to your next step. You can step off. We have no
thank you.
Commercial break, so we're getting going there as we continue to move forward and move things on it. You heard from North Carolina Central Football Program 2023 final combined stats. You've seen none other than Jaquan Davis, I should say, wide receiver, 6'4", 195-pound junior out of North Carolina, Charles E. Jordan High School. He talked about being able to play there and being happy with things. You also heard from Jaden Taylor, defensive line, height 6'1", 275, redshirt junior from Durham, North Carolina, Northern Durham High School. Transferred back, if you would, from Mercer University, getting it done. As you see, Lynn Thomas coming back in the fold to talk to us a little bit there. Great conversation with North Carolina Central, the Eagles. They get fired up. Man, did you see Coach? You know, I asked just to see the ring, right? He said, that's national. National. Coach, I was there. Then he had the cuffs. I was done after that.
Oh, yeah. Trey can be, he's got a lot of enthusiasm. Those kids believe in him. He's a great salesman for the entire institution. And this is his time of year. You know, it's showtime for him, you know. And I'll tell you what, these kids are ready, good-looking athletes, well-spoken kids who understand what the mission is, what the vision is, too. And I could not be prouder. I was the father of a Division I athlete, and to see the sons and the future leaders of our institutions and our communities on stage here, feeling the part, looking like champions already, and they haven't even played a ball game yet.
Yeah,
that's what.
You can't get better than that.
That's right, man. You know, that's great. And coming up next is going to be Morgan State.
Oh, I'm excited about that program, boy. You talking about rebuilding a very historic program that people hadn't really realized. And joking last night, talking about they're no longer in hibernation. You woke them to bed.
Oh, yeah.
It's time to come to work. I do want to close out one thing with North Carolina Central. Jaquan Davis talked about Walker. And he said he's been quietly working out, and he's excited what he believes he's going to be able to do from the quarterback position to continue putting North Carolina Central, as you said, being right there in the wake of a championship.
Well, you know, as a quarterback, when you have to sit behind an All-American and you get in the reps, and every day you are watching him, talking to him, rooming with him, you learn something. There's something that is created there, and you got to have talent to be at this level. So the talent is already there. Walker has the talent, but there's some intangibles that you pick up through a relationship, and that is why you're talking about role models, you're talking about influencers. It's clear, and you've heard Trey say that before, that by sitting and watching what Davius did for that period of time, and to be in those meetings, to be intimately connected to him, I'm sure some of that greatness has rubbed off on Walker, and we're excited to be there.
With that being said,
we got to switch. It's going to be South Carolina State instead of Morgan. That's okay. Yeah, but you know what?
I'm excited about that one.
We were getting ready to talk about Damon and Morgan State, a guy who had extraordinary success at Bowie, goes cross town to Morgan and begins to build that storyline, and that's what we're talking about today on the Countdown to Kickoff show when it airs live. We're talking about storyline and characters. A similar storyline has begun to evolve in Orangeburg, South Carolina, where you got a Chennis Berry, who's next door now at Benedict.
That's
you
right.
know, and Benedict and
Two-time SIAC back-to-back
that's
champion.
right, and
Playoff bids,
nationally
much like
ranked.
you said with Morgan State.
That's right.
Getting it done at Bowie State. So that's fascinating when you talk about what that looks like. As we kind of prepare and get ready for that next chapter, though, Trey Oliver mentioned this in terms of them being preseason number 1. So that means that Orange Blossom Classic, and he said that, features the number 1 team preseason selected out of the SWAC in the Eastern Division versus the number 1 team in the MEAC, North Carolina Central. You talking about a prime time matchup made for TV?
And possibly, if the experts were to say it the right way, could be a precursor to the Celebration Bowl.
Boy, now that makes it fun. So gives you that much more energy of why to watch that game. That is outstanding. It's going to be fascinating to see that top 6 ranking. So we'll get that released officially to you. But we got a little tease a little bit in terms of who's number 1.
Well, and that's what the experts and that's what the people say. But this isn't an election year, and the people don't vote to see who's going to be in the Celebration Bowl.
That's right.
You got to play your way in.
That's
and
right.
so there are 6 teams in this room right now with the same goal, and they are committed to that goal. And we got to play this thing out, man, to see in December who's going to be in Atlanta.
Man, I can't wait. It starts in Atlanta with the MEAC SWAC Challenge.
Yeah.
Features FAMU and Howard, which will both be teams highly ranked preseason. As you said, it counts at the end. But we haven't heard somebody start in Atlanta and finish in Atlanta.
Hasn't happened yet, has it?
So could be the first year that happens.
As a matter of fact, I just had a conversation while you were interviewing Trey with John Grant, the executive director of Celebration Bowl and the MEAC SWAC Challenge, and he was talking about the excitement building in Atlanta about FAMU and Norfolk State. And he said everybody is overwhelmed at the energy that the Norfolk State fan base has created in Atlanta already.
Rightfully so.
For years, we have said that Norfolk State and that Spartan Legion have been wanting an opportunity to go to some of these great classics, and now this year they've got 2 opportunities, and that's Atlanta,
well deserved,
and Indianapolis, and
City
with a team that is hungry. Dawson Odoms, I'm sure, and I know Dawson very well, has circled a few dates and is rallying his troops and saying, look, this is our goal. And it's going to be great to talk to him later on in the show too. So we hope to get, here's what I like to do. We hope to get folks, not only the coaches and these student athletes, we're going to talk to Commissioner Sonia Stills, and we're going to hear about her vision.
Yes.
Because a lot of this stuff that you see, even though Dennis Thomas, who was the godfather,
right.
Dennis Thomas outlined a lot of this stuff and begun this, what you see now is the energy, the passion, and the vision of Sonia Stills, who was his right hand for years.
Right.
And so many things that we'll talk about. Hopefully, we'll, if we have time, we'll get a John Grant on. We'll get other folks on. But our MEAC staff is lining up folks to come talk to us. And, Doc, we're so grateful to have you and your team partnering with us as we begin to dive into this. Let me give you another opportunity today to talk about some of our sponsorship. Tune in later today as the MEAC unveils the preseason predicted order of fission and the preseason all-conference teams live on the Countdown to Kickoff show presented by Coca-Cola, broadcasting live on ESPN Plus beginning at noon. So now, I know you love hearing us, but at noon, you got to go to ESPN Plus and listen to Jay Walker and Tiffany Green and watch them as they next door, Doc, and that set in there is unbelievable. And we're going to have a a great time. But right now, we're going to go and bring up the South Carolina State Bulldogs. They're going to get ready. Chennisberry. This will be his first official South Carolina State / MEAC press engagement.
Exactly. So South Carolina State Bulldogs 5-6, 3-2 last year.
I'm getting
Chennisberry, first year, 5th overall. Career is 27-7.
Yep.
2 HBCU national champs in 2022, 2023. Division II, Region II Coach of the Year in 2022. Told you about the schedule, non-conference schedule for Chennisberry and the Bulldogs. August 31st, they're at FAMU to kick the season off in terms of non-conference. September 7th at the Citadel. September 14th, they're at Georgia 7 playing up at an FBS program. September 28th, they have North Carolina A&T coming to the house. October 5th, they're at Tennessee Tech. And October 19th, they're versus Fort Valley State. They're coming up and getting set up and get you ready. This is the 2024 MEAC Football Media Day at Hilton Downtown, Norfolk The Main, live ESPN Plus show. Getting ready for 2024 MEAC Countdown to Kickoff Football Show on ESPN Plus. Come on in, Coach, as we get ready to talk to the Bulldogs. You have none other than Coach Chennisberry here getting ready to give us some insights. The players that we got lined up, Nick Taste, Aaron Smith, and we'll get a chance to talk to him a little bit. I saw them doing their thing, get it prepared. We're going to get a little insight in terms of these brothers. I heard that my understanding may be LBs, but we'll talk a little bit about that. In terms of, look at them, see, yeah, people be in your business. Coach, you're here, you're a Bulldog.
Oh, man, Bulldog Nation, we in the building, baby. Let's get it.
I like it,
We in the building.
That's good, good. Y'all can lean up and make sure we're talking to the mic, get your countdown. Talk a little bit about what that was like, the experience leading up, closing out things at Benedict, a great run there. Obviously, national championships in that program, Coach of the Year, winning records across the board at SIAC. You kind of close that chapter. Now you move into the MEAC and have a lot of love by the South Carolina State Bulldog Nation, as you refer to them.
That's right.
A lot of history with that program. Talk to me a little bit about what it's been like to get the final stamp approval that you're the head coach of the Bulldogs.
You know, it's humbling every day, really. Every day I come on the football field and I just walk on to Oliver C. Dawson Stadium, man, and just see all those championships and the giants of the shoulders that I'm standing on, man. What a great place with great people. You know, I think people talk about places, but it's about the people at the place.
Yeah,
and the Bulldogs have been amazing to me for my 6 months I've been there. You know, in terms of the alumni and all the people are so excited about what we're bringing to the table. But more than anything, great young men that I get a chance to coach every day, man. These guys are bought into the process of what we're all about, and that's falling in love with going 1-0 every day, man. And these guys are really bought in. I have a great group of coaches that have shared values, not always like-minded, but shared values, all right, because we're believing the mission and the mission every day, because we know this game of football is going to end one day, and I want to make sure that our young men not only win championships and win games, but that we win souls as well, because this game going to end one day. And, you know, you win with people. You win with people. You know, that's ultimately at the end of the day, you win with people, and I think we have a great fit of people around us. It's not about the best coaches or the best players. It's about the best fit, and our young men fit what we're all about at South Carolina State University.
You talk about I want to say you look sharp.
I appreciate it, man. God is good. My wife got me straight this morning, man. She got me looking good, smelling good, all that, man. She take care of me, man. You know what I'm saying? Look good, feel good, play good, and when you play good, they pay good.
There you go.
It's all good.
Can't beat that.
Absolutely.
So talk a little bit about that play good in terms of what can we expect in terms of offensive, defensive, special teams from the Bulldogs.
Well, we really like where we are personnel-wise. When we came in, you know, we felt like we had to really upgrade the personnel. You know, we had good players, but we didn't have enough depth in certain spots. But we, you know, our coaching staff, we went out and found depth. You know, and again, it's not all about, everybody talks about these transfers. It's okay, but we want to win with the guys that we have already there. That fits into the culture. They understand the culture. Yeah, we're going to go out and get pieces of the puzzle that fit us, But at the end of the day, it starts with like these two great young men next to me. They've been there. They've won Celebration Bowl. They won MEAC Championship. They understand what it takes to win. It's my job as the head football coach to come in and put our stamp on it on how we're going to do things. And that's going to start with discipline, all right, and accountability. And that's one thing these young men are bought in. You're talking about Nick Tace right here to my left. You know, he's a 4-year starter on the offensive line. But not only is he a good football player, he's a great human being, and he's a great leader. It's going to come down to leadership. And he knows that people that comes into our program, they're going to have to do it a certain way. It's not going to be doing it their own way. It's going to be one way that we do it, and that's going to be the right way with discipline. This next gentleman, to my Aaron Smith, man, he leads our defense. This guy's been doing it for a long time. He's already got his degree, so he's already getting ready for the game of life. He wins in the classroom. He makes nothing but A's. I hadn't seen many B's on his transcript, and he's a great football player, but a great human being. These are the kind of guys I surround myself with. They fit the culture of what we're all about at South Carolina State, and I love each and every one of them, and that's what it's all about. You play for people you love. You play for people, whether it be your players, your coaches, your teammates, you play for people you love, and I love these individuals, man, because they love South Carolina State, and they have been open arms to me. Think about it, they've had a coach. Coach Pugh's been there for the last 23 years.
Yes,
Coach Pugh, they love Coach Pugh. Don't take nothing away from Coach Pugh. There's only one Coach Pugh. But they've opened it up for me, and they've opened it up with open arms, and they welcomed me in to Bulldog Nation. I'm glad to be their head football coach.
Man, that's fascinating. And let's talk to these young men in terms of starting with you, Nick. Redshirt junior, 295, 6'2", West Columbia, South Carolina, White Knoll High School. How's it going?
How you doing, man?
Doing well. Talk a little bit about your experience coming here, a part of the MEAC Football Media Day.
It's been just truly a blessing, experience I'll never forget.
Good stuff, good stuff. What do you look forward to this football season in regards to your excitement? I know y'all down to business guys, and I can see that in terms of your demeanor. But talk a little about some of the things that has you excited about this football season.
I'm just excited to go 1-0 with these boys every day. That's what got me excited, just taking every day, one at a time, and just winning the day.
Good deal. Aaron Smith, redshirt junior, 218, 6'2", Manning, South Carolina, Manning High School. Welcome.
What's up, man? How you doing?
I'm doing well, doing well. As you said, y'all played for championships. You've been in the big games. So obviously last season was a little disappointing, not the expectation you had. But what has you excited about this upcoming season?
Just the drive, the energy I see from the team. You know, we got a chance to go 1-0 and control the things we can control. So I'm feeling good. You know, we're gonna dig deep, we're gonna chop wood, we're gonna carry water.
Well, tell the world, from my understanding, the Line Brothers. Did I get that correct?
Yes, sir.
What fraternity do you represent?
Well, we are part of the Xi Psi chapter of Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated.
Awesome. And when did you finish your program to become a men of Omega Psi Phi?
We were initiated spring 23.
How has that been?
So it's been a blessing, you know. Get a chance to go places, meet people, attend meetings, you know, just meet good friends, you know, because friendship is essentially good to the soul.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Nah,
Your
yeah.
thoughts? Your thoughts?
My thoughts are he hit everything on the head. What I would like to say, prayers out to the Wilcox family. That's our line brother, 21. He recently passed in a tragic accident a couple weeks ago, and I just want to shout them out and tell them that we love them.
Certainly important that you get that opportunity, and we like to visit with that. Tell us a little bit about your experience in terms of the university, South Carolina State University. Why has it been special for you?
It's been special to me because it's really just been a family. Since the day I stepped in, I graduated high school 2020, so I'm kind of a COVID baby. People like to say around campus. So
Great point.
Ever since we just got on campus, it's been family oriented. Whatever I need, or vice versa, what I can do for them, it's been that.
Aaron, tell me a little bit about that too. Your experience at South Carolina State University. Why has it been such a special place for you?
South Carolina State has been a special place for me because I'm that guy. I got out, you know. I meet my professors. I meet the people in the high places, you know. So whenever I need something, I need to get it done. They there to help me, you know. They're more eager to help somebody that they know. No, I'm not afraid to spark a conversation, to get to know anybody, to get to know, you know what I'm saying, because the same way that they could do something for me, I may be able to do something for them one day. You know, it's all about building connection. So for me, it's been special because I've met a whole lot of great people in my time there.
Man, you talking about being talented on the field but off the field. It's my understanding, as Coach said, you finished your degree.
Yes,
How
sir.
special of a moment was that for you and your family, I imagine, as you wrap that chapter up, now you're graduate program. Talk a little bit about that experience.
Honestly, for me, it was like an okay moment, you know. Like, I knew I was going to graduate college, you know what I'm saying, highest honors. For my family, it meant the most to them, you know. Like, I'm a first-generation grad, so it meant the absolute most to them. But for me, I just knew that that day was going to come when I was going to graduate, so.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome, and you said it right. Set those expectations of what you want to see in front of you and go get them and tackle them in every way facet. And the fact that you're able to share that with your family in terms of first generation, that's what we do at HBCU, special what you do at South Carolina State. And I'm here to make sure that we raise that and honor you for getting that done.
Yes, sir.
You had that expectation, but you showing the world in the next generation in terms of what they can achieve. So excited for you all in terms of that. Let me turn it back to you, Coach, a little bit more. Give us a little more insight. I know philosophy-wise in terms of your expectation for the young men and women that are around the program in terms of doing things the right way. But in terms of on the field, defensive-wise, what do you want to see from your program? How are you going to attack from a defensive perspective this season?
Well, first of all, I want to give a correction. These two young men are seniors. They're not redshirt juniors. They're seniors, and then this is their last year of eligibility. So I tell them all the time, how are they going to be remembered? People remember champions. Right? How do they want to be remembered? I challenge them with that every day. And this is their last run at South Carolina State. Are they going to lead the program better than it was before they found it? I challenge them each and every day. So these young men understand the mission. And we don't talk more about goals. We talk about missions. Because missions is hard to stop a man that has a mission.
That's right.
Everybody got goals. You break the goal. You set a goal, oh, man, I'm going to lose 30 pounds. Man, you probably lose 20 and get frustrated and just stop. But if I set a mission on what I want to accomplish, and we begin with the end in mind. Stephen Connolly wrote a book, 7 Habits of Highly Effective People.
Yep.
And number 2 is begin with the end in mind. We have one goal, one mindset, one mission, and that's to get to Atlanta in December. That's it. But we're going to fall in love with the process of doing that. But in terms of defensively, it starts with Aaron Smith. Aaron Smith is the creme de la creme of our defense. All right? We're going to build it around him, but it all starts with the big boys up front. You have to be able to stop the run to win championships. If you can stop the run and put people in adverse situations to where they have to be in third and long situations, man, I like our chances because I love our front, I love our linebacker core, and our secondary is special. You know, we got some guys that can play. You know, and ultimately, at the end of the day, they believe in the system. It starts with our defensive coordinator, Jordan O'Daffrey, who I've been around for a long time. Every defense we ever had at the last institution finished in top 5 in the country in several statistic categories. We plan on being the same at South Carolina State. If you know anything about South Carolina State, it is known for defense. You better be able to stop people on defense. And we're gonna, and they understand that. My coaches understand that. There's an expectation on how I expect our defense to play. We're gonna fly around, we're gonna be fast, and most importantly, we're gonna be physical. You win with being physical. We're not gonna be a timid defense. We're gonna be physical, we're gonna get out the folk, and it starts with them big boys up front. But Aaron Smith makes it go. He's the leader over there. He's the quarterback of the defense. Their teammates respect him, and they listen to him, and he's going to do a great job in his senior year. Expect big things from our defense, but Aaron Smith, when it's all said and done, look at him at the end of the season. We don't worry about the beginning. We don't know what they picked him. We don't know none of that. That preseason is absolutely nothing. Because guess what? We're going to get 60 minutes. We're going to get 60 minutes every week. Now, what happens in them 60 minutes is completely up to us. But we're going to get 60 minutes. We ain't worried about all that other stuff. We're going to lock in, and we're going to put young men that 100% buy into the vision of what we all about. And them 11 we put on the field going to be bought in, and they're going to be ready to rock and roll.
Aaron, I see you shaking your head all through that. You look like you ready.
Yes, sir.
Oh, man, that has me focused and has me excited. Last thing here, Coach, I got to get this. I know defense is where it rocks, and you said anybody that has paid attention to South Carolina State knows what they do on the defensive side. They proved it in the MEAC. They even send folks to the NFL, so they've been able to do it inside and out and without a doubt. We talked about the quality of men around there. Offensively, talk a little bit about the offensive side of the ball. What do you want to get done?
Super excited.
Okay.
What we bring to the table offense. It starts with, the big boys up front. Anybody that know me, it's about O-line, D-line. If you can be good on O-line, D-line, you got a chance to be successful. And it starts with the big boys up front. Just like I said on defense, you got to stop running. On offense, you got to be able to run the football.
Yeah.
And we're fortunate to have an amazing group of young men up front.
Yeah.
How many people in the country can say they're returning all 5 starters of the offensive line?
Not many.
Not many. And then we've added some depth. We brought in a couple young men from a couple different institutions.
Okay.
And we've created some depth from within. And I tell you what, I really like our offensive line. They call themselves the dirt bags, man. It starts with them big boys up front. But they have great chemistry together because they played a lot of snaps. You're talking about 3 of our offensive linemen, Nick Tate, Cam Johnson, and Eric Brown, have had 37 consecutive starts. That's a lot of experience. They all played in the Celebration Bowl. You know what I'm saying? These guys, that's where it starts at. Our tight end, Keyshawn Toney. If you tell me it's a tight end in our league that's better than Keyshawn Toney, I need to see him because he is special. Not only is he a special football player, he already acts like a professional. He knows how to take care of his body. He takes the weight room serious. He does all the things, and he's an amazing student. He's a grad student, and he's an amazing talent. And you got to have a good quarterback. Don't get it twisted. All that other stuff sounds good, but you got to have a guy at the trigger man.
That's
that
right.
Can pull the
Make it
trigger
go.
and can make it go. And I feel like wholeheartedly we have a guy that I've won a championship with before. That is special. He's a true dual threat. He's a leader. He's smart. He knows our offense inside and out. And we also provided some depth. We signed another young man transfer named Ryan Stubblefield, who's got a lot of talent as well from Incarnate Word. And he's the right fit of our program. Signed a really good freshman, TJ Moore, that we're super excited about the future of our quarterback room. And then you got to have them guys in the back that can dot the I and cross the T. Yes, we lost a really, really good running back that transferred and chose different pasture. But I tell you what, our running back room is special.
Yeah, I saw it last year.
We have a couple special individuals on that in that running back room that can make it happen. DeAndre Duhart, he's a 225-pound big physical back that can make it happen. KZ Adams, another running back transferred from Georgia State, but he is also from South Carolina. That is the real deal. If anybody follows South Carolina high school football, he's one of the best that ever come through. All right, we also have a young man by the name of Josh Shaw that's returning from last year. I think he was a leading rusher coming back with 400 yards rushing from last year. All right, we also have a young man named Tyler Smith, amazing young man, amazing football player from a powerhouse program, Gaffney High School, so he can make it happen. We have some guys that can make it clearly happen. Demetrius Simmons, he's another one that's talented. So we have some guys in the back. It's South Carolina, man. If you know anything about South Carolina, they don't have running backs. You know what I'm saying? They breed running backs. Then outside at wide receiver, I tell you what, Justin Smith-Brown's a returning all-conference player that's got speed, explosive ability, and I tell you what, he's a super exciting young man. Jordan Smith is another receiver who's played a lot of snaps at South Carolina State. But we brought in a young man by the name of Caden High. Caden High he played for me at Benedict. He was a true freshman last year. He caught 50 balls for about 800 yards. This young man is special. He's a special talent. Also, Nick Soule, another one, 6'6" guy, came with me. We signed a transfer named Enaj Carter, explosive. They call him Quick Six. That's his nickname, Quick Six. So they tell you what kind of football player he is. And DeAndre Ruffin, all right, another kid that transferred from Georgia Southern. These are talented, explosive football players, and you got to have depth. So at the end of the day, as you can tell, as you feel it in my soul,
I feel it.
I love this football team. But it ain't for everybody else to know until we kick that ball off August 31st. And they're going to find out real quick that we got a really, really good football team, and we got a chance to be good in year one.
Well, I appreciate you giving us a little insight, and I know you're building up the excitement, and many of us out there that cover it can't wait to cover you and these young men and the rest of the team in terms of what you get done. Also just fascinating in terms of the way that you go about it, in terms of that. Now, I'm going to have to tell you, out of Texas, you're in there in common word. I know you got enough talent in South Carolina, but we're going to have to see if we can put some fences around Texas.
We go wherever they at. We're going to start in the Palmetto State. We're going to make sure we blanket that back.
No, they go down, because y'all got a lot of talent around there. I got to find a way to get in there and get some of that talent.
Well, the quarterback position, we recruit nationally because we want the best of the best.
That's fair.
We'll go wherever in the country to get the best quarterback we can get.
Well, you said it ended it well in terms of these young men being champions already, in terms of celebration. They want to get back there. Let everybody see you ring. You're a champion, Coach.
This is going to be the last day I wear it. All right, that's it. It's a new year, new season, new team, same mission though, and that's to go 1-0 every day.
I just wanted to know that you're a champion, Coach, and certainly understand that it starts over from here. Last time to get it focused. That'll do it. Talking to you with South Carolina State and the Bulldogs. Coach Chennisberry, you see he's focused, he's ready. You see these young men in terms of Nick and Aaron, you can tell they ready to get it done. They have me excited about covering this season to see what the South Carolina State Bulldogs, and I know the Bulldog Nation, they're going to be loud and proud. That's just what they do. I will ask this. Let me talk a little bit before we get that till we're going on. I want to ask y'all about playing home. I got a chance. I go to a conference on the professor's side on serious note up there in Columbia, so we passed by there. On the way back, I got a chance to stop, come by campus, bought a hat in regards to the golf visor, the support, and just acknowledge in terms of the power of South Carolina State. But I went over there by that football, seen the backside with the tailgate, with the dog houses. I imagine Saturdays, a special Dawson Stadium there. Talk a little bit about that, Aaron. I'll let you go first, and then we'll come over to you, Nick. Talk about playing those home games at South Carolina State.
I'm going to keep it simple, man. It's live. It's nothing like coming out of that tunnel.
Yes, sir.
And feeling the energy from the stadium rocking, man. All the fans, everybody there, it's live, man. That's just all I can say.
That's all I need to say. Nick?
There's no party like a Bulldog party.
That'll do it. That's a perfect way to end it.
my guys.
Yeah, that's the way we want to do it. As you see, we're live here at the Hilton downtown Norfolk The Main, bringing you South Carolina State Bulldogs. You heard it. These gentlemen have something to say about this race. 2024 MEAC Football Media Day. Getting ready for the live ESPN Plus 2024 MEAC Countdown to Kickoff Football Show on ESPN with Jay and Tiffany. Fascinating. I'll let these men go. They got to get around to the other media that wants a piece of it. But I really appreciate you sharing your time and some insight about South Carolina State. And you know, Coach, I think about you. Let's go. Let's get it done.
You my guy, man. It's all good.
I appreciate it.
Let's get it, man. Go Dogs.
Let's go. Let's go. So let me get back into it, give another update, and we'll get into showing some love for our sponsors here in terms of what that looks like. MEAC Countdown to Kickoff presented by Coca-Cola. Tune in later today as the MEAC unveils the preseason predicted order finish and the preseason all-conference team live on Countdown to Kickoff show presented by Coca-Cola Broadcasting live on ESPN Plus, which begins at noon. Stick with us as we bring Lynn back up, getting around here, and you see we're bringing the coaches around. There's a lot of excitement here in MEAC country, bringing it to you right here at Hilton downtown Norfolk The Main as my man Lynn comes back to the stage. Man, that was a dynamic interview in regards to South Carolina State. I think they're going to have something to say about the championship. You know, they were just here a couple of years ago, and they reminded that two of the players, they were in the celebration mode.
Hey.
So they were upset they didn't get their lashes. So they have a quality focus. You bring in a champion coach that you alluded to out of the Division II ranks out of the SIAC. Coach showed me his ring. He said, this is the last time you show this ring. It's time to get focused on things moving forward.
Well, and people, you know, think that Chennisberry is just Benedict. Chennisberry's got MEAC and SWAC lineage all in his blood, you know.
That's right.
Well, he was at Southern for years. Had a stint at Howard on the staff there. He and Terry Sims worked together there. And
A&T.
this guy knows this. That's right. This guy knows what he is doing. And I think it was a great hire. Buddy Pugh put his stamp on this hire. Buddy Pugh went and recruited him. You know, I think it was a great move.
And he was a hot name out there.
He was the hot name in HBCU football this year.
So there were other schools that would look at it who was swagging the MEAC, and the fact that Buddy Pugh took the time and recruited him and told him why you need to stay right here. And he talked about the fact that they only had, 4 coaches and 3 coaches in 40-something years?
In generations. Let's talk about generations, Doc.
Perfect word. Perfect word.
And so when you're looking about continuity of leadership, you bring a coach in. Let's go Willie Jeffries, Bill Davis, those kinds of guys. Then you get a Buddy Pugh. Now you get a Chennisberry. So you're saying, oh my God, this is a place
I'm
where
jealous.
folks can, that's right, you can build.
I'm jealous.
And he knows what he's doing. And he was able to, in this era of
That's right.
of the transfer portal, he's brought some talent with him.
Correct. And he talked about that. The trigger man was previously at Benedict, and he's excited and went in, got a transfer out of Incarnate Word, got into Texas, where I reside. I teased him and said, I need to put a fence around it. And then he went down and talked about all the players he got out of South Carolina. So we know he can recruit.
That's right. And one of the great things about that is people seem to think that this might be a rebuild. This is going to be a reload.
I think you said it best then. And I thought a little bit of pause, a little bit about that. And then to the point, after I heard a little more, I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is not a rebuild. This is a reload in terms of the expectation, which means the MEAC is going to be that much more exciting.
Yeah.
Because you got North Carolina Central. We talked to Trey Oliver and what he's excited and what he plans to bring back. And we don't see him going to be very down for low. And when we say low, we talking about co-champions.
Right.
And obviously the MEAC doesn't recognize in terms of the co-champions after last year, but in terms of records, I'm saying.
Well, and one of the great things, and let's stay on Orangeburg just for a minute. Because
Sure, please.
those legends are welcome to come back to the program. They don't interfere.
Yeah.
So Willie Jeffries is always welcome to be there, and his role is to bring attention and fundraise for the program. He doesn't look over the coach's shoulder and ask him, why are you calling this play or why are you doing this? And Buddy Pugh is the same way. Buddy is welcome there. Buddy served as the interim athletics director and really oversaw the hiring of Chennis Berry. So I think that when you look in terms of continuity, that's a very important word in sports, in organizational structure. I think that South Carolina State is not going to fall down as far as people think that they might.
Right.
I think that you're going to see some enthusiastic, aggressive, innovative football coming out of Orangeburg, South Carolina.
Ooh, what he plans to do on that defensive side of the ball and the names he was pulling off there is something else. Let me turn the page and give you an update on Morgan State Bears. They were 4-6 last year, 3-2. That's Damon Wilson, third year, 15 overall. We talked about the fact of what he built at Bowie State and what he's building now at Morgan State. A lot of people are excited about this program. He's 8-13, 5-5 in the conference race. Career, he is 97-58 as a head football coach. He has 2 HBCU national champions in 18 and 19, 3-time CIAA champs, Bowie State, 3-time CIAA Coach of the Year. Non-conference schedule. He's at Hampton. That is on August 31st and September 7th at Townsend, and September 14th at Ohio. At September 21st, Virginia Union Lynchburg comes to town. September 28th, he's at Stony Brook. October 5th versus Lincoln, PA. And October 12th, he's versus Merrimack College that is moving up to the FCS level.
Yeah.
So it'll be fascinating as we get ready for our next group. It'll be exciting about that. What are your thoughts on that?
I think that they are a program on the rise. We are anxious to hear from Coach Wilson and to see what the Bears are going to do this year, Coach. I'll tell you this, walking around the room, I just got to say this to you. Folks are so excited about this partnership, the MEAC Digital Network and the HBCU Sports Lab. Doc, we're so glad to have you here. And for all of you fans out there that are watching and listening to us, we want you to stay connected with your favorite conference, the MEAC. That's right. We're going to be partial to the MEAC right now because that's who we are, okay? But stay connected to your favorite conference on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, and YouTube. Search MEAC Sports and use the hashtag MEAC Pride to share your fan experience. Why don't you do that? MEAC Sports, hashtag MEAC Pride. Do that for us to let us know, because we're going to look at these analytics and see if y'all are being obedient We know Dr. Cavill got y'all trained well. So MEAC Sports, hashtag MEAC Pride, and do what Dr. Cavill has taught all of you to do very well, is to follow the instructions that are being given to you so that we can make sure that you are getting the right, hot off the press information, inside information, because just like we're going to give you from Morgan State as we get ready to bring Damon Wilson and the Morgan Bears here on this partnership between the MEAC Digital Network and the HBCU Sports Lab. Doc, I'm going to go get them for you right now, okay?
All right. Let's get them in there. We're going to take a pause. Yep, let's take a pause as we get the next group of the Bears up on stage and getting them ready. We'll be right back after this quick break. This is Dr. Cavill inside the HBCU Sports Lab with Block College Sports Network. We're here, 2024 MEAC Football Media Day, Hilton downtown, Norfolk The Main, as you see the official partnership live ESPN Plus show getting ready for Countdown. That's 2024 MEAC Countdown to Kickoff Football Show on ESPN Plus with Tiffany and Jay. With that being said, I have none other than Damon Wilson, Todd Smith, Elijah Williams, as we get ready to talk about the Morgan State Bears. I'm excited. Coach, we go back a little bit.
Hey, Doc,
so I'm going to have to be truthful. You know, as much as I'm just a media expert, I'm also a fan in regards to what I've seen you get done over your career, the long haul, which is build young men, women around you, the program as well, and champions.
Yes, sir. I appreciate that, Doc.
Oh, it's my pleasure. With that being said, let's open it up. Talk a little bit about what has you excited about this football season.
Well, you know, we're returning 8 out of 11 starters defensively. We're returning 6 out of 11 starters offensively. I think the coaching staff did a great job bringing in some new pieces and recruiting. I think the guys now know what we expect of them. They've done a great job this summer. They did a great job in the classroom, and that's one thing for me. Like I said, years ago, I didn't understand the importance of how that correlated, the academic piece and the football piece correlates, and now I do. We finished roughly about a 3.0 team GPA, so I understand they're getting and understanding the importance of doing the things right off the field as well as on the field.
Talk about building the program and where you feel about Morgan State and where you are in terms of the process.
I think we're there. You know, we're at that stage now where we've had 2 full recruiting cycles to bring in guys that kind of fit what we're trying to get done. When we first got there, we had some good guys there. Some didn't fit the scheme, but they were all around good people. But now we've had an opportunity to bring guys in to fit what we would like to do, and those guys I think have brought into the systems, and that's just a matter of going out executing.
A lot of big-time football. What are your thoughts in terms of your non-football conference schedule? I know the MEAC where it really gets down, and it's a 5-game race to the top, but before you get there, you got a long jaunt in terms of your non-conference schedule.
Yeah, we have
Talk a little bit about that.
We got 6 non-conference opponents, and they're they're kind of all over the place. Well, you have some that's an FCS, you got some FBS, you got a Division II opponent in there, so it's a very competitive non-conference schedule. We're playing teams with 6 different styles of football, but at the end of the day, we'll be ready and prepared, and I think those games will prepare us for MEAC play.
Good stuff. Let me go over to the players and get a little update. Let me start with you, Todd Smith, sophomore 6'2", 190 pounds, out of Fredericksburg, Virginia, Rock Creek Christian High School. What has you excited about this football season?
This season, I'm really excited. Just seeing how determined my guys have been this summer. Just watching everybody put everything together. I think it seems like everybody's locked in. So just playing for my guys, playing for one another, and just excited to put on the show this year.
Elijah, if you would, I want to ask you that same question. Just for the note, 6'3", 270 pounds, senior, Jersey City, New Jersey, Lincoln High School. What has you excited in your expectations for this football season?
Sort of like Todd said, really just playing with my guys. We've been grinding this off season, spring ball, summer workouts, and the season we really get to put it together, and we really get to play with one another and trust each other to get good results.
Talk a little bit about Morgan State, your experience in Morgan State. How has that been?
Morgan, I ain't gonna lie, Morgan State has really been a blessing for me.
Yeah, I see that smile. I like that. It must been good over there.
Like, I met so many great people and so many people who genuinely care about the success of you, you know, from teachers to support staff, coaches. Like, it really takes the business aspect away from it, even though you understand, like, you're feeding people's families, but it's like they really care about you, you know, and I'm forever grateful for that.
I appreciate you sharing that. Todd, you look like a very serious man in terms about you taking care of business. Can you give us a little insight about your experience at Morgan State?
Morgan it's been a good experience to me.
Okay, now we got a little bit of smile. I like that. That is, when you talk about you, it's
on
something
and
about
off,
that, boy.
On and off the field, just
Yes,
surrounded
sir.
by good people.
Okay.
Everybody wants the best for you. And just elevating. I feel like I've taken a step forward this year. Just learning a lot more, making a lot more connections. So it's been a great experience.
Good to hear. Talk about your experience yesterday and today about the MEAC kickoff. How have you felt about how everything has been going so far?
I think it's been really smooth. They taking a lot of good care of us, feeding us well.
That's good. Yeah, I saw a couple of y'all coming in the elevator. I won't say the product because they're not official sponsors, but those bags were full. I started to ask to share, but some of y'all looks on your faces. I know y'all good people, but I was like, man, that might not work out.
Yeah, just really them just showing us around, showing us a good time. Had a good photo shoot yesterday as well. Got some time to spend together outside of this. Went to Topgolf yesterday as well. So it's been a really fun experience so far.
How'd you hit the ball over there at Topgolf?
Got
a little work on that? That's all right.
Yeah, I got some work to do. I did all right.
You
though.
got time. You got time.
I got some
You
time.
to do that. Now, let me do this. I love to ask, the players that come here to talk about their team. Talk a little bit about that offensive side of the ball. Who are some other key players that we need to keep our mind on their name?
Honestly, I think everybody on our offense is going to be a factor this year. We brought in a new offensive coordinator.
That team approach.
We looking to get the ball in everybody's hands.
Okay.
And just let our playmakers be playmakers this year.
Give me one or two, and I'm not saying this because I want to separate them, but I want the viewers to kind of know, because we want to tell the story. We want to make sure that some of these folks that don't necessarily get the buzz, that they get a chance. It's your time to kind of share a little love with a couple of players.
I really, honestly, I don't have a specific one or two.
That's fair.
I'm going to be honest with you.
Coach, he team first, man. I like it.
But we have a lot of guys returning from last year.
Okay.
And we got a lot of new guys who came in, a lot of guys who were young last year, we were a part of Coach Wilson's first recruiting class here, who I think will have a big impact this year as well.
Good stuff. Elijah, let me see if I can get it out of you on your side. Give me a little bit of this defense. I'd imagine they'll be attacking in terms of what that looks like. But give me some names that we can kind of focus on and say, all right, they told us this one's coming. Keep your eyes on him, or somebody that's already there in your mind. Give some love to folks out there that wasn't able to come with you, but are special in terms of what you see them getting done. We've seen that Morgan State defense last year. Like I said, the offense is taking the next step and they're coming, and I can see why Elijah's like, nah, y'all just be patient and watch. We're going to do our thing. But that defense we saw was some headhunters, I believe.
Mm-hmm. So, on the defense, the only way for us to succeed is if we work together. I'm going to be honest. Like that's the only way we can see that we work together. You know, the D-line, even with people having different stats, you look, I may have more stats than other people, but I can't do it without the interior. I can't do it without the opposite edge. You know, let's say I get a chase down block, I get a chase down tackle from the other side.
Yes.
It's 3 people that got to stop him so I can get over there.
That's right.
And make that tackle, you know? So we all working together, especially the safeties, you know, safeties, linebackers, corners, you see what they're doing. I really think, like, maybe the interior, our interior D linemen could get more credit because they don't show up on the stat sheet what they do. They get in there, they getting all the dirty work done and stuffing up the middle for other people to make tackles and get stats. So shout out our interior D line, they keep doing their thing.
I'm going to have to ask the head coach, man. Y'all work too well at this. Y'all won't give me nothing, but I love it. But I will tell you this. Tell Coach Sewell that you talk to Dr. Caville and see what he tell you. And see what he say. I've been going up with that brother, and he's a head coach in waiting. And I know I don't want to pull him away from the squad. He got work to do. Yes, but I'd be belabor the point if I didn't get it out there that we got some talented folks. Offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator, and one of them was Coach Sewell, so I wanted to make sure he got some love. So make sure you tell him, Dr. Caville, put him out there, so he'll tell you, that's my man. We'll see. If he don't say that, I'm coming to Morgan State, and I don't see that, and I'm going to go get him, and y'all going to have to get me off of him. But I'm going to go back to you, Coach. Okay. You see that your young men, in terms of getting it done, they talk about the team atmosphere, which is much respect, and I know that comes from the top down in terms of leadership. But for the purpose of the show, so we can get some names and some folks to focus on, give me a couple of key players that we can look for on both sides of the ball.
Without a doubt, man. These guys, they understand the team approach. But for us to be successfully defensively, Elijah Williams is going to have to play good football. Eric Hunter, Call, is going to have to play good football. We added another linebacker, Ahmad. He's going to have to play good football in order for us to have success. Like I said, we understand the team concept, and offensively, Taj starts with Taj. Taj is going to have to play football. Andre Crawley, you got Keith Jenkins. You got some guys that we feel really good about getting the ball to in space. Jason Collins is a young guy we feel good about. Brought a couple of transfers in that we feel good about. Coach Wright, his responsibility as an offensive coordinator is get the ball in those playmakers' hands. And Coach Sport's going to do a good job getting those guys, special team-wise, getting the right people on the field. And I think if Keith Jenkins touches the ball in kick return, I think it puts us in a pretty good position to score points. So we understand that, and we understand with the pieces that we have, but it's their responsibility to go to execute right now.
I like it, and it makes sense. It seems Todd certainly is focused, so I think he's ready for the assignment and understands what needs to go. Obviously, Elijah brings it all the time in terms of getting it done in practice. And I really like what I've heard y'all get done in terms of practice, and you see it translating on the field. Let me do this before I have to let you go. Give me a couple of other nuggets in regards to where we could be excited in terms of your fans out there in terms of what's going on with this football season.
I think it's really important for all our Morgan State supporters to come out and support these young men. These young men have been busting their tails off this offseason, and it would be really appropriate that we show their appreciation on August 31st when we play Hampton University. Everybody has a role in this. This is not, you just can't come in as a new coaching staff and turn this thing around. Everybody has a role, from the alumni to our food services to the custodians. Everybody has a role, and if they do their part, we do our part. I think at the end of the day, we'll be where we need to be.
I'm going to try one more. Elijah, let me go back to you. I know that first game is on the road at Hampton, but what is it like to play Hughes Stadium, play at home in front of that crowd? Talk a little bit about the emotions of playing at home.
I think it's like no other, because they really there to support you. They get rowdy. They get real rowdy. You make a big tackle, you hear it in the crowd, I try not to listen to the noise, but sometimes I get overwhelmed. I gotta look over like, oh, yeah, we did that, So it's really unmatched for me.
Todd, can you give me a little bit about that? You want to share some love in terms of playing at home, in terms of that crowd? The type of atmosphere that people may not realize, some of them see it on television. Obviously, a lot of folks have experienced it, but some have not. Tell the world, what is it like to play that home football game in Morgan State at Hughes Stadium?
Like Elijah said, it's like no other. Honestly, I think for me, what shocked me the most was the band. I don't think the band gets enough credit, but our band goes out, does their thing, do their thing every home game, bring a lot of excitement to the team.
Nice.
And just the fans, just how supportive they are.
Wow.
You know, every time you make a play, first down, big play, they always on our side. So I think it's a good momentum for us. It gives us good momentum. It's just exciting.
Good stuff. We've got to talk to a couple of other coaches, North Carolina Central, in terms of Trey Oliver, obviously Chennis Berry coming over, and they had the rings on the hand. Trey also had some cufflinks with the rings. Chennis Berry talked about his rings, and he said this is going to be the last time he does his rings because of the next chapter. You won some championships too.
Yes, sir.
Do you have your ring?
No, sir. That's something we did in the past. I'm moving to 2024 season, and I'm looking forward to getting a 2024 ring.
My man, Coach Wilson. Y'all be ready for these Bears.
Yes,
we talking about MEAC football, boy. You talking about Johnson. The last 5 games, you get a lot of preparation. You get to see the ups and downs in terms of non-conference play. But when you get into the conference play of the football season, this conference is deep. So you got to bring your hat every week, and you cannot have any room for error. So we'll see this. So I'm excited about Morgan State Bears and where it brings us a season. You know one thing, I'll be watching.
I know that's right.
With that being said, we'll let these gentlemen go as they have to get to the next spot. That's the 2024 MEAC Football Media Day. Hilton downtown Norfolk The Main live ESPN show 2024 MEAC Countdown. Waiting for the MEAC countdown to kick off football show on ESPN Plus at 12 noon right here with Tiffany and Jay. That'll do it. You have Coach Damon Wilson, Todd Smith, and Elijah Williams for the Morgan State Bears. We'll be right back as we let them transition and move on. I'll do some media awards. We have time to take a break, or we want to keep going? We'll take a quick break and let them exit the stage and get to the next group. With that being good, we'll be right back after this break.
Appreciate you, Doc.
No. This is Dr. Cavill inside the HBCU Sports Lab with Black College Sports Network, partnering with the MEAC. We're here in Hilton, downtown Norfolk for the 2024 MEAC Football Media Day, Hilton, downtown Norfolk The Main, live ESPN Plus show, getting ready for the countdown officially for 2024 MEAC Countdown, the Kickoff Football Show on ESPN Plus. I have none other than Coach Larry Scott. That's champions of the MEAC for those that have been asleep. And we have Darius Fox, Kenny Gallup Jr. We're going to get in some conversation with them, let them bring it. It's something about the Mecca where everybody is somebody. But I tell you, it is nice to be here with you, Coach. Coach Scott, we got a chance to talk and get a little insight into it, but now I want to share it with the world. Tell us, what has you excited about this football season?
Man, just the opportunity, right? Not many chances in lifetimes you get a chance to compete for a third championship and have 3 in a row in any sport, any walk of life. So, in the sports game. So, at the end of the day, it's the opportunity that we have, and it's the moment that we get a chance to go seize that not many can say that they've done. So, it's got me really fired up about it. Our young men are excited about it because at the end of the day, we're in a historical place, right? In the Mecca, Howard University, and etching our names and what we've done and in their tenure while they've been there into those history books is something that you don't get an opportunity to do. So, we're just excited to go seize this opportunity and seize the moment.
Good stuff, good stuff. Let me ask you a little bit about, in terms of offensively, what do you look for this team? And then we'll come back and talk a little bit more about defense later.
I think offensively we have enough, talented weapons around us to make sure that we do what we need to do from that side, from that perspective. Okay. But, it starts up front, and I think, having a guy like Darius Fox, who's been the core of that unit and that group, the past, 4 seasons now, going into his 4th year. Here's a young man that's never missed a start, but more importantly, he never misses practice. He never misses workouts. He's been consistent, and that's how you build a championship caliber team, and it starts with people like him up front. We got to add a couple more pieces to that, and then make sure we, get our playmakers the ball and put them in situations to be successful. And I think we'll have a chance on offense to be as explosive, if not more explosive, than we've been in the past.
Let me talk to these young men here, and then we'll come back to you, Coach. You just talked about that offensive line. We have Darius Fox here, senior, 6'3", 205. Washington, D.C. right there with DeMatha Catholic High School. You go from one historic program to another historic program. Talk a little bit about how that transition. What was that transition like for you, particularly when Coach talked about that you've been blessed and certainly work out to the level where you have not missed a snap?
I attribute that to my parents. They raised me well, saying when you commit to something, you really do commit to something. And I really try to take that every day. Going in, came in as a freshman. I ain't really like talking to nobody for. I ain't gonna lie. Coming in, I was really just putting my head down and work. Coming to workouts every day with Coach Lopez, great guy right there. And I just put my head down to work. To the point where I came into camp as a starter, and I took that very highly.
Yes, sir.
Worked my butt off every day, day in and day out, and the recognition to show. Coach Scott took a great chance on me coming in as a freshman, putting me in as a starter, and I appreciate that for him every day. And I just don't want to let him down at all.
Talk a little bit about, as you said, your transition. Quiet, not talking it out, now being obviously in front of the mic, boisterous. Now you have the disposition that you can talk for the university. But talk about the experience of going to the Mecca, Howard University, in terms of what it's been like.
It's been a real blessing, both on and off the field. The guys that I've met on the field, I consider them for brothers for life. And off the field, going to the Mecca, we're just not athletics over here. We're also great scholars. Walk around campus every day. The connections I built since I was a freshman is amazing. You never know who you're going to walk around on this campus. You can meet the next Vice President of the United States. You never know. But yeah, it's just both on
might
and off
be
the
now
field.
the next president of the United States.
Right.
But just both on and off the field, man. It's been a blessing. And every day I just try to go seize the day, go 1-0 on the day.
I like that. Let me talk to you, Kenny Gallup Jr. I understand that what has really took the next step for you is obviously your ability to tackle has been second to none. But now they're talking about your coverage skill has improved as well. What was the work that you put in to make that happen?
I want to say after my 2021 season, I put a lot of work on, ball skills, and then also just really man coverage, this more flexibility stuff. things like that I work on. And then after the 2022 season, I still didn't catch no interceptions. So I knew it was going to be questionable, so I just went back in the lab, and, I was just catching a whole bunch of passes. After practice, I catch a whole bunch of passes. After, so just working on them certain little things to improve my game on. But also, I still got to, just finish being a better tackler, just moving my feet, bringing my feet more, coming up to contact more. So, I always just look for things to improve on, and that's helped me out.
Kenny Gallup, defensive back, graduate student, 6 foot, 214, Portsmouth, Virginia, Churchland High School is what he represents. Get it done. Let me ask you a little bit about some other players on the defensive side of the ball. Who can we keep our eyes on for those that weren't able to attend, but you're saying, hey, they're special?
Well, first I would say, our defensive coaches does a great job of rotating our players. So I'm excited for this year because, we lost some key players, but everyone has played. Everyone has experience. But some key guys on the defensive side of the ball, you can start off with Carson Hill. He's a playmaker. He made some plays in the Celebration Bowl, aggressive. You got Robert Jones III, who's, if you watch the film, he's choking up supposed to be the best receivers in our conference, but he's choking them up every week. And then you got guys in the interior like, Jamal Stewart, who's, had a great season last year. And then you got Terrence Holland, who's going to lead the defense this year, a linebacker, fly around, physical. So, it's going to be a very exciting year.
That's good stuff. Let me ask you this before I come back to you. In terms of, for you, what is it like being a part of Howard University? Not just in terms of athletics, as said, do it both academically and athletically. What is it like to walk on campus?
Oh, man, it's a great experience, man. When I first got to Howard, it was COVID. So, I ended up missing my, first year of opportunity. But since then, man, it's just been awesome. Like I told someone earlier, just me, walking across the stage and graduating probably been the best thing that happened to me, better than the accolades. Because I knew, since, I committed to Howard University, that it was more of a 40-year decision instead of a 4-year decision. So,
yes,
it's just exciting just seeing people that be so consistent, and people that's dedicated to the work they're trying to put in. You got people that want to be lawyers and businessmen and doctors, and it just kind of motivates you, So, they take their craft seriously, just like how we take our craft serious on the field. They take their craft serious in the classroom. So, just being a student athlete, it shows that, how, good of a person I am because I'm doing it in both fields, in the classroom and on the field. So, it's exciting and, it's fun just being in the Mecca, being in D.C. Like you said, you never know, you might see the next vice president or whatever. Like, we were just riding in D.C., and we riding on scooters, literally. And we seen, hopefully the future president, we seen her in the black trucks riding around. So it was an awesome experience, man,
Nice.
I want
Drop
to take
that
it with
dive. I like that. Drop that right there. Let me go back to you, Darius.
Yes,
I'd be remiss if I didn't give you a chance to talk a little bit about some people on the offensive side of the ball that we need to pay attention to. Obviously, a couple of players lost, including quarterback, but it's my understanding that y'all have some hidden gems out there, so I want the people to know what to expect.
For sure. Coming in, the standard's the standard around here. That's how college football works. Guys come in the program, they work their way through the program, and ultimately they got to go at some point in time.
Right.
It's just about the next guys that are going to step up, and a couple of those guys. We got a lot of veterans coming back. Offensive linemen, we got myself, Timothy Artis, and Jamal Hines. 3 great guys right there. We're gonna hold it down on the offensive line for sure. We got great guys in the backfield. The 2 best running backs in the MEAC. We got Eden James and Jared Hunter. We're going to have a great year this year.
Very nice.
Mm-hmm. And on the perimeter, we got guys, we got playmakers all around. We got guys on the perimeter. We got Richie Lazara and Casey Hawthorne. Yeah. Definitely, it's going to be a great year for us offensively.
Great job. You drop them names like that, and they are special. Let me come back to you, Coach, and talk a little bit about this football schedule. You play a really diverse schedule in a lot of different ways. A lot of things I like about it, maybe not as many as home games, but it's a part of building this program in terms of the brand that you can go any place, and a lot of folks want to have the Howard brand come to their home or in these classic matchups. Talk a little bit about how do you come together with a football schedule?
Well, obviously it's challenging, right, when you only play 5 conference games. And so now adding a 12th game for us this year, you're playing, a lot of out-of-conference games. So we want to set it up in a fashion that you can build your team as you go. You want to set it up to be in position to have some success. Obviously, every opportunity is an opportunity. You want to go out and win and do those things. But then you also want to put it in situations where, hey, this may be an uncomfortable situation for us. We got to go deal with some adversity. We got to go deal with some elements that if we can learn to navigate and overcome and handle, it's just going to set us up for success later on in the year. So we try to do as best we can to strategically set that up. That'll build us and make us, prepared when we do get in the conference, playing the games that matter to obtain the goal that we play for each and every year. But in that, we want to win. We want to set ourselves up to be successful and win, but face some adversity and some things like that to build us and make us right.
Obviously, offense gets people excited, sells tickets, and we'll get in a little bit about selling some tickets. Who trying to buy your ticket? With that being said, tell me a little bit about the defensive side of the ball. What has you excited, and what can we expect from the defensive side of the ball of Howard Bison this year?
I think, the heart and soul of every team should be built around defense, and that's just my philosophy and what I believe in. And our manual that talks about our program, the first thing is play great defense. And so we want to make sure we do that. We do that in the way we recruit. Most of the scholarships are on defense and the way that we do things so that we be really good in the kicking game, and all those things starts with the core of that. And I think that's the nucleus of our football team this year is that we have a lot of guys that have played a lot of football on that side of the ball that return. And when you have a guy, like Kenny Gallup here, who's the leader, one of the leaders over there on that side of the ball, you believe that gives you a chance to have the type of success you want to have. So it's going to be a critical piece to the puzzle this year for us. And I believe if we do that and play great on defense, we're going to give ourselves a chance to be back in Atlanta and finish this time.
Let me ask you this about the alumni support, fan support, whether it's at home or traveling. What makes that unique, and why is it special at Howard University?
I think you see it transforming, in the D.C. area, and I think you're starting to see people gravitate towards the real reasons, as to why you come out for a game, and it's the game. Learning how to be the 12th man in that respect, to being at the part of the game and being engaged in the game, and understanding when is the right time to cheer, when is the right time not to cheer, all of those type of things. I think you've seen it transform into what it is.
Particularly the band.
Right, the band. I think you're seeing it transform.
Can we get a little partnership here?
yeah, no doubt. I think you're seeing it transform into what you really want to see it be as you build a championship caliber program year in and year out. And they're starting to understand how important of a piece they are to that.
Good deal. Let me go to y'all. I've been asking everybody about playing home games, but I happen to be a professor at Texas Southern University. What I like to see is the real TSU. It's a whole different conversation, but you'll see where I'm going with this in a minute. Serving as the dean of the College of Education over there, have a law school much like Howard, so we're excited about that when you talk about D.C. to Houston and many of that connection, because this gentleman here finds a way in Texas all the time, which I've kind of warned him about. But again, that's a different conversation. But there's the other TSU out there, Tennessee State. Homecoming in terms of that. I've heard folks everywhere excited about that. Sure. Howard homecoming is what it is. It's unique, but it seems there's something a little different about this one in regards to that. And I have folks, Prairie View, Texas Southern, College, Clark Atlanta University in terms of Morehouse, and they're all talking about getting their rooms, getting prepared to go and see this homecoming game against Tennessee State. Right. Talk a little bit about just the home games in general, but particularly why you believe that will be a special game in terms of your fan support there. Start with you, Elijah.
When you go into your home stadium, like Coach said, we're going to have the 12th man on the field, and that is our fans. And for the homecoming's like none other. We're going to go in, we're going to treat it like any other week. Go 1-0 every day, so we can go 1-0 on Saturday. So
Coach, I can't throw any curveball at it. It's just another game. I tried to hype it up, but no. I like that. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. Go ahead.
For me, man, like I said, it's exciting. Every home game, but homecoming, it's just special. This year I believe it's actually Howard's 100th homecoming, so nice. It's gonna be crazy. I feel like that Howard football gonna be must-see TV, so it's gonna be a lot of people that's gonna want to come and watch us play. Right. And then another historical black college coming in, trying to play us, out of conference game, but it still be a big, huge game. It's pretty dope and it's pretty exciting. So I can't wait personally. I feel like I play my best when it's packed. So.
Good
I'm
stuff.
excited.
Good stuff. I'm excited about that too, and I'll be following. I'm excited as we talk about a chance to three-peat as the Howard Bison. That's special. It's hard to repeat in any conference, particularly the MEAC. And then you talking about doing it for the third time, wanting to get it right, go back to celebration, little unfinished business, I imagine, that you have there. So I'm excited to see what's going to get done with this season. And I just want to say thank you, Coach, for always giving me a piece of your time whenever we need interview and stuff like that. So I'm excited about this special season. With that, I know you got to get your rounds, and I would like to hog up more time because you are very delightful in terms of scholar athletes to talk about in terms of do that. So appreciate you. Keep up the great work. And again, you got a fan right here. So anytime you need to come on our show to get the information out in terms of what people need to know about yourself or your program or anybody else, you got a colleague right here and a friend to get it out there. With that, we're here, 2024 MEAC Football Media Day, Hilton, downtown Norfolk The Main, live ESPN Plus show, getting ready for Countdown. That's the official 2024 MEAC Countdown, the kickoff football show on ESPN at 12 o'clock with Tiffany and Jay. We're going to give you some updates. They're going to reveal the official predicted order of finish. We'll see with Howard. Some people may be up there. Other ones are going to be motivated, so it's going to be fascinating to see. I can't wait to hear. Also, in terms of those preseason accolades, they'll be right here. And again, we'll let you go. It was a pleasure getting with you all and talking as we'll continue to do a little bit of it. But we'll continue to get you there.
Appreciate
talk
you.
about over there.
Appreciate that, boss.
You.
Yes,
No
sir.
doubt. No problem. With that, looking at Howard Bison, 6-6, 4-1. Larry Scott, 5th year, 6th overall. Howard record, 14-22, 9-8 in terms of the conference race career, 24-26, 2022, 2023 MEAC champs. A little bit about that non-conference schedule at Rutgers. That is August 31st, September 7th, Mercyhurst, September 14th versus Morehouse. That's the New York City Classic. September 21st, the Battle of the HU. I don't know. They always just tell me it's run real HU as I talk about TSU and Texas Southern. That's versus Hampton, though. September 28th at Princeton. Unique Ivy League experience there. October 12th is Sacred Heart. And October 19th, we teased out a little bit, Tennessee State. We heard those tickets are going briskly, so make sure you stay on top of that. Figure it out, because we hear that some Tennessee State fans trying to sneak around the chicken coop to buy the ticket. That's not going to happen. Let's get it right. With that being said, we're going to take a quick break. We'll come back on the other side, get Lynn back up here, and we'll talk a little bit more as we go through the head football coaches and these key players for the 2024 MEAC Football Media Day. That's Hilton downtown, the main live ESPN Plus countdown to kickoff. 2024 MEAC Countdown Kickoff football show on ESPN. Make sure you tune in. You'll get to see these guys live on ESPN talking to Tiffany and Jay to get you ready for that football season and get you excited. It's that time. Stick with us. Be right back after the break.
All right, sir.
This is Dr. Cavill with Inside the HBCU Sports Lab with Black College Sports Network presented here at the 2024 MEAC Football Media Day, Hilton, downtown Norfolk The Main, live ESPN Plus show. Countdown to kickoff. That's 2024 MEAC Countdown to Kickoff football show on ESPN Plus at 12 noon with Tiffany and Jay. We look forward to give you some insight as we reveal the predicted order of finish, predicted players, preseason, offensive and defensive, will be released at that time. Excited to see what that looks like. Good to have you back, Leanne.
Hey, man, I was just I wasn't far, you know.
No, I see you working the room now.
Yeah, I was working the room, but I was sitting there listening to you having these conversations. These coaches, man, they are excited, and they are animated, and they're funny, aren't they?
Oh, yeah. Very good. Very good.
Now, they won't be that way on Saturdays.
No, it takes just a little different tool.
It does, you know, and we've managed to get our way through 4 of the 6 teams. Coming up next in just a few moments, we're going to have Delaware State, and then after that, we're going to wrap things up by talking with the hometown team, the Norfolk State Spartans. But, you know, this partnership, man, we've already seen the benefits of it between the MEAC Digital Network and the HBCU Sports Lab. Doc, this thing here is working. Wow. We've got a prime spot here.
Oh,
everybody's looking at us. You look good, man. You look good.
I appreciate it.
You're having
fun.
To
emulate.
No, everything's working great. Just want to share some things with our fans. Get the latest sports news and player of the week updates, scores, and rankings at the MEAC Conference website. That's visit MEACsports.com for more information on your favorite teams and your favorite student athletes. And also, MEAC fans stay connected to the MEAC alumni members, teams, and student athletes by joining the MEAC Nation. That's one of our great connecting points for alums, supporters, family members. If you have ever been a member of a MEAC institution, then you are eligible to join the MEAC Nation. For more information, visit www.meacsports.com/MEAC Nation. And of course, MEAC fans, the Norfolk State Spartans will kick off the action this season as the conference reps in the 18th annual MEAC SWAC Challenge game on Saturday, August 24th in Atlanta, Georgia. The green and gold will face former MEAC foe FAMU, the Florida A&M Rattlers, for bragging rights to start this season. Get your tickets now for what will be an epic HBCU showdown at Center Park Stadium in the ATL. And boy, folks are really excited about that. You're going to talk to Dawson Odoms in just a few minutes to wrap this thing up, and I'm sure you're going to ask him some great questions about the first game of the year against an old foe that he knows well, the FAMU Rattlers.
Before I took my trip to the Bahamas, you know, I'm just going to throw that out.
Threw it out there, yeah.
Before I took my
you
trip.
got it. You got it like that, Doc.
I was in Atlanta for the MEAC
No.
Challenge.
Let me tell you folks this. Last night, he said, before I took my 5th trip to the Bahamas, he said that last night, you know.
Yeah, I like the Bahamas. I'm going to get down there as much as I can because they treat you right. In all seriousness, before I left out of Atlanta because I was there for the MEAC SWAC Challenge press conference and got a chance to really hear the mix between the coaches there, and they got it in when you talk about that. But really, Dawson Odom stole the show.
Oh,
in
yeah.
terms of what he was able to deliver. Jay was there being the MC, and he did an excellent job in regards to that, what looks like. Obviously, you had the new head coach with FAMU, but Dawson Odom for the Norfolk State, and those fans there, the green, gold as they get it done, behold, as they like to say in those places. It was fascinating when you looked at and you talk about that kickoff. I'll be in Atlanta back for that.
Oh, yeah, I'll be there too. Absolutely.
Really to watch things kick off for the MEAC SWAC Challenge in regards to what that looks like. That's fascinating. Might get a chance. We've seen John Grant here. We'll see if we can get a piece of him before everything closes up as we get into it.
Yeah, I've seen him. He's at every interview table. He's doing his job. He's the Don King of HBCU football. I mean, you know, he opens the year hosting us in Atlanta with ESPN Sports, and he closes us out at the end of the year around Christmas time, hosting the championship. So that's what he's doing, man.
As we get ready for Delaware State Hornets, let me give you this. They were 1-10 overall last year, 0-5 in the conference race. Lee Holt's second year, Fourth overall DSU record was 1-10, as I said, 0-5. But career-wise, he's 13-22, 10-11 in terms of the MEAC. He was the 2014 MEAC Coach of the Year because he was with the champs. That was Morgan State, as he earned a MEAC championship in 2014. Non-conference schedule, we teased that a little bit.
Yeah.
Get to go to Hawaii. You know, I'm going to talk a little bit about that and see what he has planned for that trip. I know it's a business trip, but you get to Hawaii, you got to find a way to get in the sand a little bit, talking about.
Well, yeah, you know, what's going to be, you don't know what's going to be the toughest opponent, the Rainbows of Hawaii or jet lag.
Right. That is a long trip.
Yeah, and you know, you got to come back and get ready to play somebody the next week.
That trip
I've been there, and it is, you know, you get to California, and then you got 8 more hours to go after you leave California sometimes. So it is. Wow. I've been to Israel, I've been to Paris, I've been to Ireland. You know, but man, that trip to from Orlando to Hawaii, that was a journey.
Well put when you talk about that. But let's get a little bit back in here. What has had you excited about today? You know, we kind of kick things off and you get going, but now you've seen the players, the coaches move around, the media is here doing well. Obviously, you have HBCU Go doing their things over there in the corner. ESPN is here putting in the magic.
Yeah.
And Block TV, as you see some of those streaming platforms getting information out here. What has had you excited about today?
Well, what has me excited was my calendar, first of all. This date begins for me football season. Yeah. And once that happens, and you know, your body begins to respond differently. You begin to make plans. Psychologically speaking, we dove, before we went on air this morning, we dove into the perspectives from each team. We began to familiarize ourselves with the personnel, asking very pertinent questions, looking for things that we did not see previously, little edges and things like that that nobody else might have been able to pull from this information to ask the coaches. So we are doing research, trying to come up with something that nobody else has done, scouting, so to speak, and looking for something that people may not be able to pick up on, much like their opponents. And so for me, I've already begun as a former athlete. My mindset is already tuned into mid-season form.
Right. I like that. And you giving us a little bit of insight. Let me give you a picture of the room. Obviously, you see us center stage, raised a little high, as we are right in the middle on the back side of the room. You look out, you have the MEAC Coca-Cola partnership where you have the pictures with interviews. And that part of it on the left side of us, if you're looking at the back of the room, you have the football official tables with the banner of all 6 institutions that play football in terms of this 8-member conference. Want to share some love with Maryland, Eastern Shore, and Coppin State in terms of their membership. In the back corner, we talked about the streaming platforms. On your right side, you have the table set up with the media platform, getting you all the prospectus, and you have areas where you see coaches come in here and getting their interviews. But where it all belongs is in the center in regards to what that looks like, which is the championship trophy.
Yeah.
People want to have their name on that trophy for 2024. I really love how it's belted off with the Hollywood rings around it, if you would, the velvet rope, to make sure people understand with the pride and the prestige that goes in it, and perfectly is the shining light on that football championship trophy. Over your career, you've had a chance to be with teams that have lifted that trophy.
Oh, and it's
Talk
a heavy.
Talk about the meaning of it.
Well, let me tell you, that trophy is heavy. The heaviness of it represents the commitment, the responsibility, and the journey. And I've been blessed to have been a part of some great championship programs, not only to win the MEAC, but the Black College Football Championship. And I'm telling you, when you look back over those days, you're able to smile and celebrate, because that trophy right there deserves its moment in the middle, in the spotlight, and roped off, because it represents what a champion should be isolated to represent, and that's you are at the top of the mountain, and that mountain is supremacy in the MEAC conference and a spot in the national championship game.
We'll give a little love for the 2024 football TV schedule. Obviously, these games, some of them are flexed. There can be some additional games added on them, but this was a release that came out Saturday, September the 21st on ESPNU. North Carolina A&T is at North Carolina Central, Saturday, September the 28th, that's the Circle City Classic, the 40th Circle City Classic, which is North Carolina Central versus Norfolk State. That's on ESPNU at this point.
Yeah.
Saturday, October the 26th, it's what you call MEAC Wild Card Weekend. That's ESPNU or ESPN Plus. You have either and maybe both of these, all of these games, Delaware State and South Carolina State, Howard at Norfolk State, Morgan State at North Carolina Central. You have Thursday, October the 31st, which is North Carolina Central at South Carolina State. That is on ESPNU. Saturday, November 9th, MEAC Wild Card Weekend number 2, ESPNU or ESPN Plus. That is Morgan State at Delaware State, South Carolina State at Howard. Friday, November 15th on ESPNU is Howard at North Carolina Central. And Saturday, November 16th is MEAC Wild Card Weekend 3. That final weekend, ESPNU or ESPN Plus is Delaware State and Norfolk State, South Carolina State and Morgan State. Anything jumps out at you in regards to some of those broadcasted games?
All of them. Doc, I'm going to tell you, because we're so anxious to get this thing started. Patricia Porter Mayfield just walked by and said we got to wind this thing up in just a minute.
Okay.
So we got 2 teams to bring on. I'm going to go get Delaware State, and then we're going to grab Norfolk State. But I just want to let our fans know, you're listening to the MEAC Digital Network on YouTube and the HBCU Sports Lab with Dr. Cavill. I'm Lynn Thompson here at the 2024 MEAC Football Media Day. I'm up. I'm going to grab Coach Hull and the Hornets, and you can jump right into it with them. And then standing by will be Norfolk State. We'll be back with them in just a moment, Doc.
Perfect. As we do that, let me give some love to our sponsors. We can't thank them enough in terms of how they make things work for us. Before I get back in and talk a little bit more about what I think about some of these football games that's going on. We have, you are listening to the MEAC Digital Network on YouTube and HBCU Sports Lab with Dr. Ville and Lynn Thomas here at 2024 MEAC Football Media Day. As we get this team getting ready to come through here, we got Coach Hull lining up. He'll come right in the mix. MEAC football each week live on ESPN Plus. Follow your favorite matchup. Keep in the know of your team's progress. Track the stats of your favorite players to find a full schedule of television matchups that we just gave to you. So I have none other than Coach Hull here bringing it to you live. Coach Lee Hull, talk a little bit about this football season. What has you excited? I'm sure there was a lot of work put into the off-season recruiting. Talk a little bit about what is the magic that we can look forward this season.
Well, I'm excited to see how we do from year 1 to year 2, because the biggest jump is always from year 1 to year 2. So I'm looking to see how we do with that and how we've improved from last year. But I'm also excited about our recruiting class. Especially the 13 transfers that we have coming in that to provide us with some depth, which we needed. So I'm just excited just to see, how this team performs, because they put in the work, through the winter, through the spring ball, through summer access. So I'm just really excited to get the season started.
As I talked about, you have none other than Delaware State Coach Lee Hull. We have Charles Brown Jr. and Jordan Hull with us today. I'm going to start with you, Charles Brown Jr., in terms of 6'2", 240-pound redshirt junior out of Edgewood, Maryland. That's Eastern Michigan transfer. Talk about your experience, Delaware State. How have things been going?
It's been great. It's been a great college experience for me, transitioning from a PWI to a HBCU. They welcomed me with open arms and blessed me with more opportunities than I expected.
What has you excited about this upcoming season?
I mean, going into my last year, we got an extra game this year, so I'm excited about that. But yeah, I mean, just take it in game by game, knowing I can't get those games back. So just being excited going into my senior year.
Yeah, heck of a non-conference schedule. You got a trip to Hawaii.
Absolutely.
I know it's business, a long trip, but I imagine you got to find a little time after you take care of business, maybe put your feet in the sand a little bit, maybe a little water. That can't be too bad, right, Coach?
No, it won't be too bad. Hey, but like you said, it's still a business trip, but we want to do something culturally and educationally for these guys. So, it's a once-in-a-lifetime trip for some of our guys. They'll never ever go to Hawaii again. So we're going to leave on Tuesday. We got to get acclimated to the time change, to the weather. But like I said, we still want to go see Pearl Harbor, do luau, do some of those things that make it an experience for a lifetime for our guys. But at the end of the day, it's a business trip, but we're there to win the game.
Yes, sir. I know you all. I've been excited about a lot of the interviews today, Coach. But I must be honest, this was really exciting about me. Did my research, and you have Jordan Hull here, the son that you get to coach, and he gets to play for you. That's an experience that doesn't everybody get. 6'1", transfer, 195-pound, graduate student, Zionville, Indiana, Lafayette College is where you transfer from. Talk a little bit about first. What is it like to play for your dad?
It's a blessing. I mean, it's an opportunity that a lot of people, still get to experience. So I just had, be thankful every day that I, can experience this with my father and, win games with him.
Good. You ready for the Hawaii trip?
Of course, man. Of course.
A lot of other good games on the schedule. That's at Sacred Heart. You got Wagner at home versus Richmond. Should be a nice matchup. At Campbell, St. Francis, and at Robert Morris. Very nice non-conference schedule where you're going to get to test. A lot of variety there. You play up. You also have FCS experience and stuff like that. But tell me a little bit about how has this transfer experience been coming in just at Delaware State in itself?
It's been a great experience, especially coming from PWI to HBCU. It's great just to be around my people and just be welcome. I feel comfortable. I think the team has welcomed me tremendously, especially with my relationship with my father. So just. It's been blessed that everyone's accepted me for who I am, and just not just coach's son. And
talk a little bit. What have you excited about this football team? What are some key pieces we can look forward to this season?
I'm excited just to see how we can score points. I think we can do it in multiple ways. Excited to see how our quarterback plays. He's improved a lot this offseason. Both as a leader and a football player. So just honestly excited, build that connection with him and, catch some touchdowns from him.
Charles, ask you a similar question. What has you excited about your football team as you get into this season?
I would just say taking that next step and going out there and knowing that we could win a lot of those games this year that we might have lost last year just by being more sound, more disciplined. And just being consistent each and every day. So just excited to see, because we've grown so much and just seeing it through workouts and spring ball, just seeing how far we've grown once the season starts.
Coach, kind of close things out because I know you got to get around and you got to get prepared for the actual kickoff. Let me ask you that question. I'd be remiss if I didn't get a chance to ask you about coaching your son.
It's exciting, and like he said, it's a blessing. Every father's dream is to be able to coach your son who's a coach if they got an opportunity to. So, when I had a chance and, he graduated from Lafayette, he was going to go in the transfer portal, I got the job and, he came to me and said, hey, would you want me to play for you? And I said, yeah, of course.
So you recruited him. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
There you go.
So it's been a blessing.
Turn the table.
Yeah. So it's been a blessing, and especially with our football team, the way they embraced him and just treated him like another football player, not as like the coach's son. It's making this experience an enjoyable one.
Certainly, Coach, I know we had to get you going, but I just want to say thank you for your time. I look forward to the season and when those Monday coaching shows, sessions to talk about what took place either the upcoming game or the week after that. And I look forward to you all young men in terms of what you all going to get done on the field. Tremendous opportunity, and appreciate that. That'll do it for us with this segment with Delaware State in terms of the 2024 MEAC Football Media Day at Hilton downtown Norfolk The Main, live ESPN Plus show. Countdown to kickoff as we get ready for the 2024 MEAC Countdown kickoff football show on ESPN Plus at 12 o'clock. We have them ready for Tiffany and Jay, and they're going to really tell you the next story as we get ready for the predicted order of finish and some other accolades. So with that, we'll let these young men and Coach go as we get ready to wrap things up. Thank you, Coach. We'll take a quick break. We'll come back on the other side and hopefully get our last interview in, and then we'll be prepared and ready to do it. Yep. We got North coming up next, so make sure the hometown squad, they'll get ready to bring it up to us as we get it going. We'll be right back after this break. This is Dr. Ville with Inside the HBCU Sports Lab presented by BCSN here with the partnership of the MEAC with the 2024 MEAC Football Media Day, Hilton downtown Norfolk The Main live ESPN Plus show 2024 MEAC Countdown, the kickoff football show coming up on ESPN Plus at 12 noon. With that being said, we have none other than Coach Odom. Coach, it's good to be back with you.
It's always good to be back.
Man, we saw you Wednesday as the MEAC SWAC Challenge kickoff as you were getting down there and you stole the show in terms of what you were able to deliver. But for those that didn't have a chance to see that live in there in person, talk a little bit about what has you excited about this football season.
The number of guys that we returned that went through 2023 season, that we endured some tough losses. Watching that brotherhood grow, watching the togetherness be built, and just seeing the pieces that we brought in to go along with the guys that we had returning, and just having older guys, having leaders, having a locker room that's full of competitors, and we just knew it was a few pieces of the puzzle away, and we really believe that we've added the right pieces.
I'm here with Coach Dawson Odoms as we have Keem Wright and Devon Allen joining us on the stage for our last interview with Norfolk State, the home team for a lot of folks with that. Talk a little bit about your scheduling philosophy in terms of how that works out. Obviously, non-conference games, and then you have that 5-game jaunt in terms of a championship for the MEAC. Talk a little bit about your philosophy of how you mix that together.
Well, this is the first year that we really broke it up. We do have a tough and challenging non-conference schedule, but it's an exciting non-conference schedule, starting with our opening in Georgia playing against Florida A&M. So that's going to be an exciting football game. But we moved our central game up in the year, and we were able to take on them early on instead of playing 5 conference games in a row. That allowed us to get a bye before we play
Howard for homecoming, then we play 2, then we get a bye before we close out the last 2 in Delaware State. So to put those byes at the end of the season where your team is usually banged up and beat up, get us a greater chance for recovery, and hopefully we're able to get our better players out there to finish off the season. Being healthy is a major part of finishing. And we got to get our football team ready to go, start the season, get to the first game healthy, and continue to stay healthy, because you're 1 or 2 players at the FCS level. The wrong guys go down, it makes for a long season. But I think this schedule is going to work out in our favor. We just got to go out and play well on Saturdays.
Certainly. Let me get to the players here. Akeem Wright, tight end, 6'1", 245, Norfolk, Virginia, Lake Terry High School.
Taylor, yes, sir.
Lake Taylor High School. Talk a little bit about your excitement for this season.
I'm excited to play beside my brothers. Every day we work hard in the weight room, on the field, outside of football. I'm really excited about it.
What gets you excited most? A great block that allows the running back to get something done, or catching a big pass for a first down?
A great block. I like seeing his last name go past me.
Man, I wish we had a little more time. This is good stuff. Here, let me get to you, Devon, in terms of what you got going on in terms of this football season. Excitement here. Defensive back, 180, Virginia Beach, Virginia Senior, Ocean Lakes High School. What has you excited about this season?
I mean, I'm just excited to be back on the field, share the field with my brothers.
Good stuff, good stuff. I want to ask you this. I've heard a lot about it. I hadn't had the pleasure, but I've watched it on television, and it just seems like a great environment. What is it like to play a football game in your home stadium in Price?
I mean, it feels great because a lot of people from home can come and see you, so it feels great playing in hometown.
Akeem, what about you? What are your thoughts on it?
I say the same. It feels great. All my family's friends come watch me play every Saturday.
What are some other players that have you excited about the offensive side of the ball coming into this season?
I like the new quarterback competition. I like the receivers, and I like my other tight end, Gregory Perkins.
Okay. Devon, defensive side, who should we keep our eyes on in terms of they're going to be headhunting with you?
Linebackers, D linemen, the whole secondary, honestly.
I like that team approach, man. It's something that y'all coaches talking about. I'm trying to get some names out there for key players, and I know why you don't do it, but that's a different discussion. We'll hold it down. But the team concept in terms of your focus means a lot to you. And obviously we want to show a little love for folks, but certainly understand why that's important. Why is that important to you, Devon, in terms of making sure that you understand the team approach to the game and shouting everybody out as you did in terms of what it's going to take to get some of these wins this season? I'm just saying the team approach in terms of that. Why was it focus? Some players I've seen this year talk about individual players. Other teams, I've seen them talk about more of a collective unit in terms of how we're going to attack the day. Why is that important to you?
I mean, I feel like if we have team success, then we have overall success.
Offensively, it seems like you have the same mindset. I see you shaking your head, looking very serious. I tried to crack a little bit of smile. All right, got something out of that. I know y'all going to get it done. But with that being said, why is that important to you?
Because you can't do it with just one position locked in on the field. You need every position to be locked in at all times.
Coach, I know we need to let you go, but I'd be remiss to talk about some key folks that we need to keep focused on for this football season that has you excited about entering into this 2024 season and conference race.
Well, the biggest thing is just these two guys right here and what they mean to our program. Just the journey that they're on is what they're writing is still under construction, and they control the story. So what people are going to read about them and say about them, they're in full control of that. And that's why predictions and all that stuff really don't matter, because at the end of the day, you got to go play the 2024 season. And we feel like we got a really good football team that we can be excited about, and our fan base should be excited about. Then we got to go play on Saturday and perform at a high level and make that football bounce our way in 2024.
Well, you heard it here from Dawson Odom, 4th year, 14th overall. Norfolk State record is 11-23. Career is 75-64, which included the 2013 SWAC champion at Southern, 2013 SWAC Coach of the Year. But I know you're excited about this football season here with Norfolk State and what plans get done. I certainly will keep an eye on what the program is entering into. A lot of excitement for this football season. I know you're very busy. I appreciate you giving us a little bit of time coming up here and talk to me about this upcoming season. With that being said, any last comments that you want to know in terms of your fan base out there for Norfolk State?
Well, game one, I think it's important not only to our program but to our HBCU community that we understand that this is something that has been created for the MEAC and the SWAC, and if we don't support it, just like anything else, it can be taken from us. So let's all support this MEAC SWAC challenge and understand that this is something new that ESPN is kicking off. Saturday night college football live on ABC, and it features 2 HBCUs, Norfolk State and FAMU. But we're representing all HBCUs and all those that look like us to show people that we have a brand, we have a product that you can get behind and buy, and it'll sell itself. So thank you for your support and look forward to seeing everybody on 8/24.
I'll be there in Atlanta. Kick things off. At the end, that'll do it for us today. 2024 MEAC Football Media Day with Norfolk State, Hilton Downtown, Norfolk The Main, live ESPN Plus show. Countdown is coming up soon. 2024 MEAC Countdown to Kickoff Football show on ESPN Plus with Tiffany and Jay. We'll take our last break, come back and get the commissioner on and talk a little bit about her vision and what's going on and excitement. 2024 is about to kick off. Stick with us. We'll be right back after this break. We're back. We're going to jump right into it because we got the special one with us. We got Commissioner Sonia Steels. It's so delighting to always be around amongst you, the way your mind works in terms of your determination about me and moving the MEAC forward. How's everything going?
Everything is great. You know, it's always a good day when I get to sit here with you.
Thank you. Yeah, I was excited about this partnership and this opportunity to really showcase the MEAC and the fact that you all trusted me with the brand.
Absolutely.
To come in here and tell that story. Great interviews with coaches and players, which I know that's what it's about.
Yes.
Tell us just your excitement about kicking off the 2024, obviously not just football, but volleyball, and all sports throughout this season. Talk about that.
I am super excited. You know, it's just getting the student athletes out there and then getting them out there, giving them exposure. And that's probably the main thing. So I'm super excited to get to the MEAC SWAC Challenge and let Norfolk State beat up on Florida A&M. You know, I'm looking forward to it. You know what I'm saying?
Beat up on those states.
You know? They won't get strike once.
Yeah. I hear you. We talk about snakes on the plane. We got snakes on the grill just lately. So I'd imagine that could go down like that. But we're here at 2024 MEAC Football Media Day, Hilton Downtown, Norfolk The Main, live on ESPN Plus. Tell us anything that we can expect that we may not heard of or that you want to make sure that's out there.
Sure. One of the things is getting 2026, all of our MEAC institutions will have men's and women's golf. So that's one thing I'm really, really happy about. And then, you know, at this time, we're looking at what other sports that we can add as a conference. So I'm really, really excited about that.
Good stuff. Yeah, go ahead.
You know, I've been working with Sonia Seals for so many years, and now that she's taken over, I've been able to see your touch on the brand. And what I want to talk about right now is, as it relates to football, 2 days ago, we saw your touch as it relates to girls on the gridiron. Let's talk about that.
Oh my gosh, that is amazing. That's one of my
Special
things closest to my heart. You know, what I really want to see is in 2028 when women's flag football is in the Olympics, I want to see a HBCU woman there. You know, that's my biggest thing. So trying to grow this sport in partnership with the NFL is very important. With Michael Vick out there with his daughter Jada, it was amazing. And the great thing about Michael Vick, he wasn't standing on the sidelines. It wasn't about his ego. He was in there with the girls playing. It was amazing, and so it was just a great partnership.
Yeah, I was flying in for this event and saw the NFL championship flag football. So I see that taking place. You talking about adding a sport? I wouldn't be surprised if somehow that gets in the mix. So more to come. That looks like. Don't want to spill too much of me, but I thought I'd throw out a little bit of tease. Anything left that you want to share with us as we close down and get you prepared for the 24 MEAC Countdown, the kickoff football show on ESPN Plus?
Well, I definitely want people to donate to the MEAC Foundation. We really want people to help our institutions. The money goes directly to our institutions to help with infrastructure and other things that are needed. So if you want to support your HBCU, support the MEAC and go to our donation page on our MEAC website and donate.
Certainly.
You know, Doc, one of the big things that we heard very loudly and clearly from Commissioner Steele was her vision for expanding the footprint and the offerings of the MEAC Digital Network. That's why this partnership is here.
Absolutely.
Because this is what she wanted. And we're front and center with this partnership. This podcast is reaching so many people, and it is because this is what she wanted. This is what her vision is, and we're here to execute and implement her vision. And it takes bold, innovative leadership to do that. And we're just so thankful that we've got that in a commissioner who is courageous enough to say this is what we need to do, and we're so thankful to have her here.
Oh my gosh, I appreciate that.
Certainly, when you talk about the vision and the innovation in terms of that, which is something that you see so clearly. So I just want to say thank you for the opportunity to that both of you all made this happen. That'll do it for us as we close it out. Let me make sure I tell those that are listening to the MEAC Digital Network on YouTube and HBCU Sports with Dr. Bill and Lynn Thomas here at the 2024 MEAC Football Media Day. That'll do it for us, 2024 Football Media Day at Hilton downtown Norfolk The Main, live ESPN Plus show. Countdown to kickoff. It's officially that time and ready for us to go as we tune out and get you ready. Make sure you switch over 2024 MEAC Countdown to Kickoff Football Show on ESPN Plus with Tiffany and Jay. That'll do it so long for us from Norfolk, bringing you all the MEAC love that you can get. Make sure you keep up with the MEAC Digital Network.